Honestly, he had a disastrous T20 World Cup. Could not get a run for love nor money there in Oman. At the end of the tournament, where Nepal remained unbeaten, he stayed in the 11 the whole game. Every game, Stuart Law kept the faith with him because he offers that X factor. So now hits the batter on striker's end. He stuck up on his Instagram story. I think it was 7 victims, only 33 success, or something to that effect. I got the wording wrong there, but he had that little bit of, because you came in for a lot of criticism, huge amount. There almost always seems to be one player in the Nepal national team 11 who is the fall guy, the one that the fans are out to get. Last year, ironically, it was Kushal Patel, who's now back in form, and everyone's going on about how brilliant he is.
I know it's the modern world, but you know, sometimes when you read some of these social media posts, they sort of imply that the player doesn't care. Now, there's still a human being there, and he doesn't walk to the wicket, or she doesn't walk to the wicket wanting to fail. She wants to do well. They want to win matches.
In the middle order in T20 cricket, when you're expected, like he is, to go at, well, what, a strike rate of 150 plus right from ball one.
You know, nowadays success in T20 batting in that middle order is a bit like Simpson yesterday. You got 15 or something off 6 balls. That's a brilliant innings in the context where they walk into bat.
It's also a great example as to why you cannot judge any player by their average alone. It really is. That, I felt, changed the game yesterday, that John Simpson innings. 8s have been bowled. It's 59 for none.
What is this? Red Bull. It gives you wings. Wings. No more slithering. Give it a try. Either this whole wings thing is nonsense, or I must have done something wrong.
After a difficult run in the group stage, the Blue Tigers look to finish with pride, while a hungry Bangladesh awaits, determined to do the same. Will India make a statement?
Safe save to continue. That run rate just becoming becalmed, as we often see after the power play stages. As the T20 game has evolved, overs 7 to 11, 12 have taken on a new importance.
I'm hearing a little bit of doubt in your voice now after the early confidence.
Does enough, Sohail Tanvir. Isn't playing a huge amount of cricket, but he was so successful last season. No surprise, he's back. A class act, the big, tall Pakistan fast bowler.
Yeah, I actually watched him in Dallas a few weeks ago, and I thought that he would have lost his Yorkers, but he still nails them.
How do you approach these overs? It's a very difficult phase to bat, even when you have wickets in hand.
Well, I think both players have got to be aggressive now, because you're none down. You've got 12 overs left. I think both have got to be aggressive. If you lose a wicket, then you can readjust a little bit, because you never want to lose two quick ones, but they've lost their first one. O'Dowd had enough. He had struggled and struggled, but now perishes in the search of quick runs.
Zabe is never going to beat you on the outside edge. This beats the inside edge. It was a case of hit out or get out, wasn't it, for Max O'Dowd? Not his best innings. Struggled to 20 up 29, and he said, okay, I've got to have a go here. Clever bowling, darted in, and the player of the tournament for MPL Season 1 is back at his best here in Kathmandu that he loves so much. O'Dowd's gone for 20. The Yaks, 61 for 1.
घाटा कर दिया तूने मैंने और नहीं तो क्या तूने ही कहा था म्यूचुअल फंड सही है भाई पेशेंस म्यूचुअल फंड इस मैच की तरह कभी रन रेट ऊपर कभी थोड़ा सा नीचे सीधे वर्मा जी के ख्याल म्यूचुअल फंड्स की पिच पर जितना टाइम टिका रहेगा फायदा होने के चांसेस उतने बढ़ेंगे सही है म्यूचुअल फंड्स में पेशेंस रखना सही है।
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। योजना से जुड़े सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
This November, get ready as cricket's fastest format returns.
3. It's a wild card. It's a rabbit plucked from the hat by the Yaks Brain Trust. I can assure you, without looking, he's never batted this high. Certainly for Scotland in a T20I. I don't think he's batted this high ever in any formal T20 cricket. Interesting move.
Well, last year, the Yaks used Basisto as an off-spinner, not realising that he was a bowler. Maybe they feel that they've signed the patter and not the wily left-arm spinner.
I ended up sitting next to Mark Watt on the plane coming in for my last leg from Doha into Kathmandu with those beautiful scenes that we were treated to. He told me about how much he was looking forward to the competition, how important it was for his development. I don't think he thought he'd be batting at 3. It's 61 for 1.
घाटा कर दिया तूने। मैंने और नहीं तो क्या, तूने ही कहा था म्यूचुअल फंड सही है, म्यूचुअल फंड सही है। भाई पेशेंस। म्यूचुअल फंड इस मैच की तरह है, कभी रन रेट ऊपर, कभी थोड़ा सा नीचे। सीधे वर्मा जी के ख्याल म्यूचुअल फंड्स की पिच पर जितना टाइम टिका रहेगा, फायदा होने के चांसेस उतने बढ़ेंगे। सही है। म्यूचुअल फंड्स में पेशेंस रखना सही है।
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। योजना से जुड़े सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
This November, get ready as cricket's fastest format returns.
Okay, we've got Jess Crow down pitch side. Jess, who have you got with you?
That's right, I'm joined by coach of the Karnali Yaks, it's Raju Basnet. Raju, just lost your first wicket, unfortunately, but what do you make of the team performance so far?
We have a good start, right? So now from here we have to go around 170, 180 because of a good start.
Absolutely. And now, how great is it for these local players to have exposure to these incredible electric crowds?
Definitely for local players, they have a big platform here, playing with big names, sitting in dressing room with big players. That means a lot for them.
And as a coach, coming into the first game of the comp, all to play for, what are you telling the players?
We're saying players just keep it simple, just enjoy the game. Just execute what the team wants.
And finally, it's approach for attacking the bowling side of things.
Yeah, we have a good bunch of bowlers. Even the local players, we have very good bunch. We have good spinners. We have options of spinners, wide options of spinners, and we have a very good fast bowlers. So definitely, we have a very good plan for bowling also.
Excellent. Well, all the best for the rest of the game.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Back to comms.
Thank you, Jess, and nice to hear the thoughts of Raju Basnet, the assistant or consulting coach for the Yaks. It's Guy Endramala, the head coach. He never seems to come out. He always says, "No, Lenny, I'm busy. I need to focus." The internet is a wonderful thing. I have to correct myself as well. Mark Watt has opened the batting for Scotland with close to zero success this summer. It was against Nepal. Forgot about that T20I tri-series up in Scotland.
We talk about the reluctancy of the coach to come and do an interview, and we understand that. But isn't it amazing how so many players... Oh, this is out of town. That stroke deserves to interrupt the story. That's a long way back.
Right, just to see the biggest six of the tournament thus far. This looks monstrous. An almighty strike down the ground. Again, Mala sticking with himself for a third consecutive over. Maybe it's an over too many. No pace to work with at all. 70 meters. What? Surely it's bigger than that. I thought our measurement was 63 straight HD. Gotta go get the measuring tape out now after our stint. That's gotta be bigger than 70. Massive hit down the ground that gets the car going. That's where the balls ended up.
Yeah, just before we go to drinks here, because I'm sure we're going to be going to drinks soon, Lenny, but all the players that hated doing interviews and refused interviews during their playing careers, they're all in the commentary box now. All of them.
Well, they learned the full game. Just to finish out the Mark Watt point, almost the entirety of his T20 career has been spent between number 7 and number 11. He's a very handy number 7, 8, 9, but he was thrown up the order as an absolute gamble for 4 games this summer. 21 runs, a highest score of 9, a strike rate of 77, and an average of 5.
So what you're saying is they've seen something that you haven't yet.
Well, maybe just the factor of a left-hander, but they also have Najibullah Zadran, of course, and Gulshan Jah. Now, with that ball embedded on the roof, I think a good piece of common sense from umpire Rambo Coella out there. He says, let's take a drinks break. We'll have a little break here too in the commentary box. All the action coming up very shortly, including that man, David Milan. We're going to get to see him bat in the second innings, the left-handed star. The Yaks are 71 for 1.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
Trying to go past 2 of them. He's scoring goals for fun. That's gone for 6. There he is. Brings out the moves. Doesn't mind shaking a leg. As always, the atmosphere at the Chitwan University International Cricket Stadium always has us all excited and entertained. The selfies around. The moment they see themselves on the big screen, the big smiles come out as well. Everyone's enjoying NPL season, too much like Fazal Khalil on NPL debut, right, Fazal?
Well, absolutely. I'm enjoying myself, especially with the kind of hospitality that the Cricket Association of Nepal has extended to us. The cricket, the crowds, the weather, commentary box, Mikhail Vaswani. It's all happening here in Kathmandu, isn't it?
As always, generous with your words, Fazal. Yeah, but what a start here for the Yaks. They have 9 wickets in hand. Panchal is just punching above his weight. He's been brilliant. Rhinos need to turn things around.
Well, he's really playing well, Priyank Panchal. Now, after the little bit of a break, he needs to regroup a little, does Panchal.
Priyank Panchal shines on NPL debut. It's been a flawless innings, and he does it on the grandest stage of Nepal cricket. That's the Nepal Premier League. What an innings he's played, laced with maturity and aggression in the middle. He brings up his maiden NPL 50. Well done, lad. 72 for 1.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
So here we go then. Strap yourselves in, everyone.
Oh my words! Glorious! Wow! That is marvellous. Goes for goal, and what a goal it is! That!
Auburn University has just saw that 50 from Priyank Panchal celebrating that with a boundary. One bounce over the boundary cushions. He's really feasting on the spinner on this pelter of a track.
Yeah, he's turning on the magic with the bat, is Priyank Panchal. He's shown a lot of conviction in his footwork, unafraid to dance down the wicket to the spinners, use his feet. He's picked his spot to perfection as well this morning. Wow! Massive out of here. What a hit. Priyank Panchal is entertaining the crowd to the fullest. And Mark Watt is enjoying it at the other end as well. Pressure on Zeb.
What a player he is. Brilliant hitting this by Priyank Panchal. 82 now. Just take a look at that. That's the Siddharth Bank maximum of the match. It's gone many a mile. Can you clip that as well, please? 60 undefeated of 30 deliveries. He's really on fire today is Priyank Panchal. A strike rate of 200, Mikhail.
Yeah, what a stage to turn on the magic if you're a batter. It doesn't look like Panchal's playing his first game in NPL. Looks like he's been batting forever. Just didn't look uncomfortable at all from ball one. Began with a 4. Panchal is keeping it simple. Focus, visualize and execute.
Well, it's called situational awareness, Mikhail. You know, that tunnel vision that he has. He's come here as a professional and he's playing every bit a professional. He was just in Hong Kong for the Hong Kong Sixes and now he's come here to Kathmandu and he's enjoying himself out here, isn't he? A bag full of sixes. Life suddenly seems to be good.
From Hong Kong sixes to Nepal sixes for Priyank Panchal. Look at that. 4 sixes for him. 5 4s at a strike rate of 200.
Well, yes, take a look at that. 5 4s in that.
Mark Watt has a best of 31 not out in his T20 international career. He's regarded more as a left-arm spinner who goes with a reverse, straight to the fielder. And this is not going to help Panchal.
Well, yes, we did see Max O'Dowd as well, scratching around 20 of 30 deliveries. Not going to help their cause. It's just more pressure on Priyank and more pressure on the batsman to follow clearly down the leg side. Leg byes will be signaled by the umpire. Yeah, a shout in vain, but this is going to add pressure on Priyank Panchal. 11 done, 84 for 1.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
Trying to go past 2 of them. He's scoring goals for fun. That's gone for 6.
Morning, as Ravi Bopara has been summoned to bowl over number 12. Yeah, he'll come in with a gentle medium paces, the off-cutters, that's been nudged away. They'll settle for 1. It'll be interesting from here on, Fazal, to see how this Priyank Panchal approaches innings, particularly with the last couple of deliveries gone quiet.
Well, this is a good opportunity for him to shift a gear, perhaps stay in that 4th gear, 5th gear. He needs to keep that run rate going. They're going well at the moment. Karnali Yaks really going well at the moment. They need to continue. What an innings he's played for the Yaks.
What I really liked about Panchal this morning, Fazal, is the way he's constructed this innings, caution, aggression.
Well, he's on debut, but he was given a couple of loose deliveries to get away, and then he really laid into them. He was really harsh on this left-arm spinner down the track, using his feet to good effect here, and the high altitude in Kathmandu helping his cause. 4 sixes in that 62. Really setting the stage for a nice big total here, Mikhail.
Yeah, looks a good surface, as you mentioned sometime back at the pitch report. Going at a very good clip at the moment. However, they'll need to up the game because the last 30 deliveries they've accumulated 36. So things have gone a little slow here. They're going at a run rate of a little over 7.5. He'll take the pace off the ball, Ravi Bopara. Yeah, the off-cutters.
Well, this is his opportunity. He doesn't need to step off the gas here, Priyank Panchal. They have a lot of batting to follow. Watt perhaps needs to just throw caution to the wind here. They're in the 12th over. So this is the time where they can just accelerate a little, get a few smiles on the faces in the crowd, some sixes and fours. They've come here to see sixes and fours, Mikhail, and perhaps your face as well.
Well, they certainly come to see good cricket, and that's what's on offer at the moment. As always, 7 to 13 is a crucial phase in any part of the game, whether you're batting first or batting second, Fazal.
Absolutely, especially if you've got off to a good start like this, you can plan the latter half. So between 7 and 12 or 13 is that in-between phase where teams either win or lose the game.
Yeah, he'll nicely clip it down to square leg to keep strike as well for over number 13. It's been a quiet over, good start here. 6 singles and 6 deliveries, 90 for 1.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
A peak no footballer has ever scaled. The GOAT has his...
The ones in orange are slightly on the back foot. The blues are slightly ahead in this game. 90 for 1 in the 13th over. So the captain himself, Kamal out there, he'll be shouldering the responsibility of trying to get Priyank Panchal out now.
Yeah, a lot of colour here, as always, at the TU Stadium. Just like the colour in the com box when you have Fazal Khalil sitting alongside you. Nicely driven, that's in the gap. The fielder will have to give up the chase. That's because the ball is racing to the ropes. What a hit. He's looked so good on both sides of the wicket this morning, Priyank Panchal.
I tell you what, Mikhail, times can change, decades will pass, formats in the game changes, but what doesn't change is that shot out there. The cover drive will never find a replacement. Just take a look at that. It's such a treat to the eyes across this lush green outfield and gets the boundary.
And that was an NCL Super 4 as well. It was a super shot. And one of the best we've seen all morning. Everything right about it. Another fuller delivery, this time straight to the fielder. Kamal Singh Airi will have to alter that length quickly. I talk about the colour in the ground, the colour in the com box. Well, yours truly sitting alongside the evergreen Fazal Khalil. And this is the HP Petroleum commentary box, SPL NPL Season 2.
Well, slightly blue there, isn't it? We're in blue. Seem to be having a good time here. Lovely, nice conditions here. And great stuff on the ground as well. So happy to be part of this Nepal Premier League, Mikhail.
Blue here as well. A lot of blue in the ground. Almost pinned Empire on the way. He's gone straight. Work to do for the fielder. At long gone. Rijan Dakal will keep it to 1.
Quat, he'll really need to go big now. It is slightly warm out there, still in their woolens, enjoying the weather. We're just about approaching winter, and it's that time of the year where things get a little comfortable when the sun is out like this. You comfortable here in Nepal? Mikhail, you seem to be one of the favored sons out here.
Yeah, just a bit of aggression, and coming back to your point, there's only one sun here in Nepal, and that's the great Lenny. But yeah, always feel the warmth and affection when I come to Nepal. It's a lovely place. The people are so hospitable and so warm, and you can see the unprecedented love and acceptance as well for the cricket. You just feel like wanting to come back again and again, and I'm so happy and privileged to be back for season 2 after a wonderful season 1, Fazal.
Certainly some warmth in the crowd as well. A lot of warmth from the Cricket Association of Nepal as well. Mr. Paras Khatkar, secretary, he's been really warm to us. The president, we've had everyone coming here and asking us how more comfortable can they make this for us, and that shows the kind of people that they are in Nepal. Done so many leagues all over, but this really stands out, Mikhail. Feels really good talking about the hospitality, the food, the hotel, the drive.
And your co-commentators as well, Fazal. You're forgetting them.
Absolutely. Mikhail Vaswani, how can I forget about him?
And the entire production team.
Mandir Bhatia, our director, is getting you all these visuals. He's on the money.
Yeah, it's a collective effort. It's a cohesive effort. Everyone braving the cold, the heat sometimes, and putting on a lovely show in the middle. Nepal Premier League Season 2. How good has he looked, Priyank Panchal? He's putting on a show as well with a bat. 6 runs coming off over number 13. It's 96 for 1.
घाटा कर दिया तूने, है नहीं? और नहीं तो क्या? तू नहीं कहा था म्यूचुअल फंड सही है, म्यूचुअल फंड सही है. भाई पेशेंस. म्यूचुअल फंड है मैच की तरह, कभी रन रेट ऊपर, कभी थोड़ा सा नीचे. सीधे वर्मा जी के ख्याल. म्यूचुअल फंड्स की पिच पर जितना टाइम टिका रहेगा, फायदा होने के चांसेस उतने बढ़ेंगे. सही है. म्यूचुअल फंड्स में पेशेंस रखना सही है.
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है. योजना से जुड़े सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें.
You think that hurts? Trust me, it's the feeling of ecstasy.
35 or 25. They need to step on the gas now. This is that moment in the game where you would be determining what your end score would be.
Yeah, he's trying to find that big hit, but he's just not been finding the timing this morning. You just remove Priyank Panchal's innings out of the equation, and you feel that the Karnali Yaks are actually struggling with the bat, because you had initially Max Sodaut get 20 in 30, and you have Max Watt 6 in 11, which means 26 in 41 deliveries have come from both these batters, and Priyank has 69 in 38.
And also, if you see, the last 30 balls have yielded 38 runs. You don't want that to happen. 30 should go for at least about 50, 55 at this stage of the innings. So they're slightly behind the 8 ball are the Yaks at the moment. They look good, but they need to step on the gas just about now.
Especially when you had that opening partnership of 61 runs. You have 9 wickets in hand. I understand sometimes you want to keep the depth for the death overs, but batters like Arjun Saud, Gulshan Jha, they all need to really come up early. You have Zadran as well. You can't be keeping him in the dugout for long. There has to be more method to the madness. Yeah, he's got some bat on this one. That's in the gap. Work to do for the fielders. And that's nicely cut off. He'll only keep it to 1.
We'll just take a look at that again. No real timing for what?
Come on, Singhari.
There, it was in the slot. That should have been put away in the crowd. There it is, just a little pace off the ball, down on one knee. It's not the biggest outfield here, Mikhail, but they're just slowing things down. Mark Watt, he needs to get a move on for sure. That's what happens. The pressure suddenly starts to shift on the settled batsman Priyank Panchal.
Now that's a very uncharacteristic shot by Priyank Panchal. He does not play that shot. He likes to go down the ground. He's going across the line, and that is pressure telling on because of the dot deliveries accumulating at the other end.
Yeah, absolutely. And what it does is creates pressure on Priyank Panchal because of what's happening at the other end.
Yeah.
He'll pick up the single for sure, and the 100 for the Yaks coming up in the 14th over. That's good batting this from Priyank Panchal, being the architect in those 100 runs for the Yaks.
Yeah, and if I'm in the dugout, I'm be telling Gulshan Shah, pad up, be ready, you're next. Because this man can practically turn the game in a couple of deliveries. Look at that second 50, taking as many as 50 deliveries. Almost a run a ball 50. And that's not a good sign if you're the Yaks. Nicely bowled. Yeah, he's struggling here. Is Mark Watt. Just the 4 runs coming off over number 14. It's 100 for the loss of 1 wicket.
घाटा कर दिया तूने है नहीं और नहीं तो क्या तू नहीं कहा था म्यूचुअल फंड सही है भाई पेशेंस म्यूचुअल फंड है इस मैच की तरह कभी रन रेट ऊपर कभी थोड़ा सा नीचे वर्मा जी के ख्याल म्यूचुअल फंड्स की पिच पर जितना टाइम टिका रहेगा फायदा होने के चांसेस उतने बढ़ेंगे सही है म्यूचुअल फंड्स में पेशेंस रखना सही है
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। योजना से जुड़े सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
So here we go then. Strap yourselves in, everyone.
Oh my word! Glorious! Wow! That is marvellous. She goes for goal, and what a goal it is! That was a strike!
Yeah, that's the Red Bull fan zone. Red Bull New Gen Energy that refreshes you. It's called the Babal Energy. Don't forget to try the new Red Bull product that's recently launched in the market. Fuzzle's been sipping on quite a few Red Bull cans here.
Well, yes, I'm enjoying myself in the commentary box. There are loads of them here in the commentary box, and we are enjoying themselves. Not that you aren't, Mikhail. You've downed a couple yourself.
You need all the energy. Talk about the energy in the ground as well at the moment. The Rhinos will be keen to just eke out a couple of wickets. Richard Dakal comes on to bowl. Was expensive in his first. Can he get that semi-new ball to do some talking? Priyank Panchal, 71 and 41. I'm expecting an event over, event ball here. Yeah, talk about an event over, event ball. Gets the top edge, goes for a 4. Good start to over number 15.
Well, you can't afford to pitch the ball short if you have third man in the ring. Leading edge, going clearly and easily over the man in third. David Malan, the fielder, going comfortably over him and getting 4 runs. 4 much needed runs for Priyank Panchal and the Yaks.
It looks like he's made up his mind. He's told himself enough is enough. Time to completely shift gears. So this is going to be a very big over. Smartly done. Soft hand, step and run, quick single. Good running, good calling.
Well, they need a lot more of these. Perhaps a few more from the bat of Mark Watt. At some point, the skipper of the Yaks, Sompal Kami, will be thinking of perhaps replacing Mark Watt if he doesn't get a couple of big hits. 7 of 13, well, not acceptable at this point in the game. They will be really being fidgety out there now. There it is. Probably would be really thinking of replacing him.
You're right, Fazil. You need Watt to come out there and just help Priyank Panchal. I'm not saying his intent is missing. The intent is right for Watt, but the execution is nowhere. 7 and 13. That one's down the leg. He's just struggling here. Richard Dakal with the left and right combination in the middle.
He's certainly struggling, and Mark Watt as well. 7 of 14 will really be hurting the Yaks now.
Yeah, there'll need to be an overdrive mode just like you are when you're sitting in the Omoda and Jeko. Nepal's fastest growing EV brand already has over 1,500 EVs on the road with wide charging and service support across the country. We truly enjoy our drive from the hotel to the ground every morning.
Well, I certainly do. It looks really nice as well. It's very comfortable, and the good part is it's all electric. How environmentally friendly would that be? That's magnificently struck. Just stand there and admire it, young man.
Oh, he did hit that with some certainty, I must admit. Just how quickly he got onto this one. He's moved into the 80s. Look at that. He had to drag that from outside off, but the pace on the ball wasn't too much. And Priyank Panchal, oh, that's an extraordinary hit. Drilled that over the cow corner region. That ball's got some beating this morning from the bat of Panchal. And just as Fazal kept reiterating that the surface will play out very well as the day progresses, particularly if you're a batter and ready to just spend some time in the middle.
It doesn't take you too long to get set on a pitch like this. You get a couple of half volleys, you get a couple of short deliveries, but you have to have the ability to put it away. Priyank Panchal, 7 4s, 5 6s in that 82. Can he get that first 100 in the season?
Short and wide, cut away in the gap. Work to do for the fielder, and the deep will come across and keep it to 1. Very nicely fielded.
Well, he certainly got the opportunity and he's got the time to get that 100. I'm sure it'll be playing on his mind. He's got many of those at the first class level, not too many in the T20 format, but the stage is really set for Priyank Panchal to get that first 100 and Karnali Yaks to really get a mammoth total here. They need to end well, the Yaks.
Yeah, what's happening with Mark Watt at the moment? This partnership is worth 53, and believe you me, the bulk of the runs have come from Panchal's bat. Yeah, once again, trying to go really hard at this one.
Yeah, Sompal Kami will certainly be thinking at some point now that he needs to replace Mark Watt. 7 or 14 is just not going to cut it for the Yaks.
This is where I feel probably they may have missed a trick by not having a Zadran go in early, or maybe a Gulshan Jha at this stage would have been ideal. You have things set up perfectly well. One well-set batter over 80. They have 9 wickets in hand. To just manage 114 in 15 overs. Oh, he finds the gap this time though. A lucky gap and nicely cut off as well. A couple of runs to end over number 15. It's been a very costly over as well. And Panchal will keep strike for over number 16. It's 116 for 1.
घाटा कर दिया तूने नहीं और नहीं तो क्या तूने ही कहा था म्यूचुअल फंड सही है म्यूचुअल फंड सही है हाई पेशेंस म्यूचुअल फंड इस मैच की तरह कभी रन रेट ऊपर कभी थोड़ा सा नीचे सीधे वर्मा जी की खेल म्यूचुअल फंड्स की पिच पर जितना टाइम टिका रहेगा फायदा होने के चांसेस उतने बढ़ेंगे सही है म्यूचुअल फंड्स में पेशेंस रखना सही है
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। योजना से जुड़े सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
So here we go then. Strap yourselves in, everyone.
Oh my word! Glorious! Wow!
Priyank is lighting it up and honing in on what would only be the 2nd century in Nepal Premier League history. Andreas Kraus it was last year. He made that marvellous century. Sadly, he's not with us this year. I thought he would be picked up. But the fascination for both me and HT Ackerman here in the commentary box has been what exactly are Karnali Yaks doing with their batting order. Najibullah Zadran watching on, Gulshan Jha watching on. Mark Watt elevated up to number 3. Clearly a gamble, clearly a roll of the dice. It hasn't worked. What can he do from here?
Priyank is sparing the blushes here for them because they're still in a very, very strong position at 117 for 1. But surely Watt's got to put the foot down now. It doesn't really matter. If he gets out, if he hits it out the boundary, no.
He's got to try find the boundary, hit it out the ground, doesn't he? It's just it's not been an innings that either Max O'Dowd or Mark Watts will want to remember fondly. It's one of the challenges, isn't it, for associate players in terms of even when they get opportunities like this, because they aren't playing as much cricket as players coming from full member nations. It might just take you a game or two to warm up, and then you might find yourself out of the mix for the starting 11. Helped away towards the man, but it's gone over his head. Deep mid-wicket was more than interested as it came off the bat. I think so too was Ravi Bopara. But Priyank is just striking them unlike anyone else so far this season. Bopara couldn't get there. He moves into the 90s.
Even Priyank had a long, hard look at this. I'm not sure he felt he got this near the middle of the bat. Almost blowing it across the boundary. Go, get there. Just, and that's enough.
An amazing first-class record, primarily for Gujarat of late, although he debuted for Maharashtra. And he's going to perish, gets to the 90s, he'll get no more. It's a good catch, very well judged by Dev Canal, down at long on. He holds on. And my, how they needed that.
Huge wicket, but what an innings this has been from Priyank. Just 47 deliveries for his 90. He really has stood man alone because the other two have struggled. Doesn't get the elevation that he's looking for. Bopara with a change of pace.
Good catch.
And then nicely held in the deep. It was very, very important for the Rhinos. So they get the big man. But what an introduction for Priyank Panchal. Goes for 90, 1-2-4 for 2.
घाटा कर दिया तूने मैंने और नहीं तो क्या तू नहीं कहा था म्यूचुअल फंड सही है भाई पेशेंस म्यूचुअल फंड इस मैच की तरह है कभी रन रेट ऊपर कभी थोड़ा सा नीचे सीधे वर्मा जी के ख्याल म्यूचुअल फंड्स की पिच पर जितना टाइम टिका रहेगा फायदा होने के चांसेस उतने बढ़ेंगे सही है म्यूचुअल फंड्स में पेशेंस रखना सही है
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। योजना से जुड़े सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
Crowd is building up and we're expecting another full house here this afternoon. Remember, it's double header action. Hey, look at this, another little wild card. It's not going to be Najibullah Zadran. It's not going to be Gulshan Jah, who was simply sensational in this exact position for Nepal during that T20 World Cup qualification run. Without him, I don't think Nepal necessarily would have qualified. He had that much of an impact, the highest strike rate of the tournament. But the left-hander's been held back. Gyanendra Malla is saying, I want to stick with the right-hand, left-hand combination. And Pawan Saraf, who again, all 8 sides wanted through the mini-auction this year that was held back in September. He comes in to play for the Karnali Yaks for the first time. Good off-spinning all-rounder. Surely it's going to be Gulshan Jah here instead of Pawan Saraf, though.
Bizarre, really. I mean, how many balls do the likes of Gulshan Jah and Najibullah Zadran, how many do they want? Surely this is the perfect time.
Yes, sir!
Really good over. Ravi Bopara using all his experience to get the big breakthrough. It's 1-2-4 for 2.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
The fan favourites that really get the crowd going. Going to be Sohail Tanvir. He's got that death bowling quality and skill. He was excellent last season.
You know what you're going to get from him. With a new ball, you're going to get someone that can swing the ball back into the right-handers, and then at the back end, he's got a great slower ball. But if the surface is not conducive for his slower ball, he can go to his Yorkers.
Mark Watts, I just wonder, I'm not a big fan of it myself. I just wonder, are they going to think about pulling him? You can retire players out, we have seen it.
He's trying to get on with it, and it's short, fine leg, trying to go up and over. I just don't know what that does for a player. And then there's a long tournament that lies ahead. You know, does a player walk off the ground after being substituted and say, yeah, that's the right decision? Or does he feel a little bit despondent about things?
What are your thoughts on that retirement out? I know it's very much within the laws. Is it within the spirit? I'm not a big fan of it myself.
Well, the old spirit is a grey area in itself, isn't it? But no, I don't think it's great. Again, I think of the player. You know, if it's a one-off game, I understand. But there's a long tournament ahead here. I think if the coach pulls the player, he's going to end up spending a great deal of the next few days trying to get him to feel good about himself again. Gulshan Jah and Najibullah Zadran look as though they padded up.
I think they're chomping at the bit. They're raring to go because poor old Mark Watts, 11 off 18, battling. It's off the pad. That will help. It won't go to Pawan Saraf's total, but it will be his accumulation of runs for the team. 4 out of the total.
He'll be disappointed with the sale, Tanvir, because he's bowled a couple of good deliveries to Watts, accumulated a few dots. And this with fine leg up inside the circle is gimme runs, really. Make these two make a play because they're under pressure as it is.
I think of the power, the X factor that Gulshan Jah has. I'm not sure there's a better or cleaner striker of the ball anywhere in Nepal, and I'm going to include Kushal Malla in that. Gulshan Jah has longer levers. He's a tall young man. He struck at 197 in Oman when nobody from any one of the other 8 teams, 9 teams there in total, struck at more than 155. That's how good a cricketer he is, and he was doing it in the most difficult times. There were 3, if not 4 matches where if he didn't come in and score right from the off, he made 20 off 5 in one game, including 3 maximums. Without those runs, Nepal might not be going to that T20 World Cup, and they're just leaving all of that value, all of that potential far too late for me.
Well, the game it's very much in the balance here because there was an opportunity for the Yaks to get out of sight. There was an opportunity for them to post 180 plus with the way that Priyank played. But look, O'Dowd, 20 off 30, what, 11 off 18, Pawan is none off 5. I mean, they could end up here with 150, which you would think would be well below where they need to be in such a strong position.
Don't get me wrong, Pawan Saraf is a very talented young cricketer. Again, he's tall, he bowls very good off breaks, was out entirely with that anterior cruciate ligament injury, missed last year. Finally, he has a first run in the Nepal Premier League, and it's harsh to call a player out, but none from 5 and 11 from 18. Very difficult to come back from that. Momentum with the Rhinos, if anything. 130 for 2.
घाटा कर दिया तूने नहीं और नहीं तो क्या तू नहीं कहा था म्यूचुअल फंड सही है भाई पेशेंस म्यूचुअल फंड इस मैच की तरह है कभी रन रेट ऊपर कभी थोड़ा सा नीचे वर्मा जी के खेल म्यूचुअल फंड्स की पिच पर जितना टाइम टिका रहेगा फायदा होने के चांसेस उतने बढ़ेंगे सही है म्यूचुअल फंड्स में पेशेंस रखना सही है
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। योजना से जुड़े सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
You think that hurts? Trust me, it's the feeling of ecstasy. When you roll on that silken grass, it's the touch of greatness. Experience the touch of greatness in the
Every single paper in the country yesterday, the front page again today, as Rajan Dakal returns. Goes to the slower ball, the cutter. These batters just cannot get anything going. We've got sponsors from right the way across Nepal, including Bajaj Pulsar. It's a precision strike, this new bike. Clean and sharp, pure next-gen Pulsar accuracy. And I, as you know, HD, I love my motorbike, so I need to have a little bit of a spin on that round the valley on one of our days off.
I don't fancy being a passenger.
You're not going to hop on the back, you're not going to go pillion for me. Down towards long off, not going to carry. I don't blame you with some of the driving around Kathmandu at points.
I'm more of a sidecar man. I think that we've got to understand that the game is designed in a certain way for certain batters to bat at certain times. You got your opening batters who are experienced inside that power play. And then you might find that like of Sidran or Gulshan Jah don't want to walk in the 7th over, the 8th over. But now, this is the time when they should be at the wicket.
Clothed into the leg side, no timing at all again. Yeah, I think both you and I, HD, I think we feel that we're not really criticising either of the two players individually, but it's just a case of wasted resources. They are wasting the potential and the quality of those resources that they have on the sideline. Najibullah Zadran, world-class player. Gulshan Jah, I think he's the best hitter of a cricket ball in this country.
And you want boundaries now. This is the boundary hitting time. You probably find they're not equipped to walk in the 10th over. There's too long a time to go for them.
Gets away with it. And Pawan Saraf can't believe it. Be interesting to replay, both from in terms of the guideline outside the off stump and also the height.
Oh, goodness me. So from a standing position, if it's above the head, then it's a wide. From a standing position. So he can't crouch.
That's the view for the umpire right there. Really like that angle. It shows how difficult the job is for the umpires. They get one look in real time, both in terms of the standing umpire and the square leg umpire. It's not easy.
Yeah, you'll rely on the square leg umpire to help you out with that wide call, though, for the bouncer, the short delivery. Yeah, I don't think there is an appreciation for how difficult the job is. We scrutinise LBW decisions over replays. They get one look.
Yeah, we say in the third or fourth slow motion replay, oh, come on, that's out. Why wasn't it given? And we got some great umpires here, led by the hometown experience of Buddy Pradhan. Steered away behind square on the offside, and he will get a boundary. Does enough to get 4. That's more like it for Scotland's Mark Watts. Gets us to the end of the 18th. 139 for 2.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
Trying to go past 2 of them. He's scoring goals for fun. That's gone for 6.
Balls left. As Sohail Tanvir will bowl the penultimate over. Really feel as though the Rhinos have actually dragged it back nicely here across the course of the last 5 overs, going at about 8 runs per over, which with 8 wickets in hand is not what you'd want it to be at. You should and could still get to 160 plus. What goes into the leg side, straight to the man, and it's taken. Difficult innings for the man who's primarily known as a world-class left-arm spinner, promoted up the order. You have to say, well, it's not worked, HD, and he's gone for just 16.
Sometimes they're worth a try, but unfortunately on this occasion, it hasn't worked. So El Tanvir bowling to his field. He's just helped that on its way. Man at deep square leg hasn't really had to make up that much ground. Rijan Dakal takes a comfortable catch in the end. So what goes for 16? The problem there is that it's 21 balls. The Yaks 140 for 3.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
A peak no footballer has ever scaled. The GOAT has his eyes set on number 1,000. Russian-Saudi League, where CR7 mania runs wild.
It's hard for him to start immediately, and that's something that Jad does so well. I think this is a significant tactical misstep, as we'll see the end of the Mark Watt innings again.
The thing about Chitwan, I mean, he played some wonderful innings for Afghanistan over the years, is that when he started to lose his way and lost his place, it was against a little bit of extra pace.
Yeah, the talk I always heard from the Irish players when they play Afghanistan so often is bounce him out. Doesn't like the short ball early. He's got amazing wrists, amazing hands, Najibullah Zadran, and that's why he's so good, particularly against left-arm spin, but actually any spin. He powers down the ground over his strong zones, of long on in particular, very well. But it just staggers me that we may not see Gulshan Jah bat in this innings.
So El Tanvir will say, if I can just bowl a dot here, and maybe then surrender a single of the last delivery, I can get Zadran back to the non-strikers in for the final over.
Well, that one is more like it. It's gone a long way. Pawan Saraf has had to wait a long time to take his bow in the Nepal Premier League. Missed all of last season. 4 or 5 different teams tried to draft him. The Yaks won the day. Well, that's a fine pull shot for 6.
Well, this is some stroke. It's whacked halfway down, and so El Tanvir stood in the middle of the wicket hanging his head, sort of thinking, well, why did I do that? Hindsight's a wonderful thing. Credit to Pawan, he's now 11 off 12.
It's done a bit of damage to the branding up there. Such was the power of that strike from the big tall Pawan Saraf. Goes again and gets the maximum reward again. Back-to-back 6s. The 150 comes up in some style. The Yak attack is on the charge. 153 for 3.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
So here we go then. Strap yourselves in, everyone.
Oh my word! Glorious! Wow! That is marvellous. She goes for goal, and what a goal it is! That was a strike!
Very good batting surface. Whatever the Yaks do, you're going to need to bowl and field very well. Remember, no Will Basisto, of course, with his off breaks. rely upon Pau and Saraf for those instead. What can Najibullah Zadran do? As it would be Kamal Singh Airi to bowl the final over. Spread field as always at the death. Only 2 in the deep on the leg side though, interestingly. That's where Zadran is going to try and go, but it skews down the ground and falls agonisingly out of reach. Both the mid-off and the mid-on fielder.
It's actually not badly bowled because he cramped him for rub. He got it in there around the middle of the leg. Because if you give Zadran any sort of width, and I'm talking about where he can clear his right leg and hit you anywhere from extra cover down to deep mid-wicket, those are his areas. And he can hit you out the ground over extra cover. That's how quick those hands are.
I always remember when he first burst onto the scene for Afghanistan, everyone just talked about his wrists, the skills that he has. Manipulates the ball brilliantly. He last played for Afghanistan during the T20 World Cup last year. That was against India. But since he's been left out, there hasn't been any sign of him forcing his way back in, whether it be through the Spagiza League there in Afghanistan. The depth of talent makes it a difficult side to get back into. Just going to be the single. Pau and Saraf too. Looks very much like we're not going to see Gulshan Jah bat today. Really is the perfect cricketing weather. Sunglasses needed, maybe a bit of sunscreen too, up in the crowd. Goes pace off and goes into the surface, and again Saraf, he wants the wide, he's not going to get it. He is a tall man, over 6 foot, but Vinay Kumar Jad square leg helps out his colleague Ram Bakwela and says that was okay.
He might have made an error with the previous one, but I've got a sneaky feeling this one's a little tighter because it sort of is dying by the time it gets to Pawan.
Inside edge, going to be 4. Keeper can't get anything on it and it races away. Saraf still not happy about that wide call, I don't think, but he does move into the 20s.
Oh, can the keeper do better? Can he do better? Just when they need an NCL Super 4, they get one. So the Yaks now do reach that milestone of 160. Final delivery of the innings.
That's a walk-off 6. Turns his back at it almost dismissively, does Pau and Saraf. He'll have waited many long days and nights, weeks and months to get into this grand stage. And coming back from that horror injury to his knee, well, it's been worth the wait, young man. 27 off 16, finishes with a flourish as the Yaks drive up to 166 from their 20 overs.
Well, he's hit 3 big ones late in his innings. So what was he doing for his other 13 balls? It took him a while to find his stride, but when he did, he's ended well. 27 from 16, Pawan. What an innings from Priyank Panchal. 90 of just 48 deliveries. With that sort of innings, you would have thought that the Yaks would have ended up around about that 180 mark. But O'Dowd and Watt struggled, understandably so. They haven't had a hit here for quite some time. We'll see the best of Mark Watt with ball in hand shortly.
Yeah, those two batters combined for just 36 runs off 51 balls. That's nearly half the innings, really damaging. And despite there being some very good-looking partnerships, particularly the first two, were at 61 and 63. it's meant that because of that lack of momentum at the other end, the Yaks have to be satisfied with 166. Wicket apiece for Sohail Tanvir, a safe say, but I thought Ravi Bopara was actually the pick of the bowlers in many ways. He was bowling very tough overs and a little bit expensive for the three homegrown bowlers, Rajan Dakal, Kamal Singhari and Kushal Malla, all going at 8.75 or more. Well, let's get a look at the best of the highlights. You're not going to see too much of Max O'Dowd in here because it was all about the veteran from India. He may have retired from Ranji Trophy action now, but there's a reason why he's got over 8,500 runs in that format at an average in the mid-40s. He looks a fine player and he's enjoyed his first ever hits here in Nepal.
O'Dowd eventually did perish, but in the pursuit of quick runs, Priyank Panchal carried on his merry little way, even though he was joined by Mark Watt, which was a peculiar decision by the Yaks. But it didn't slow them down really because of how well this man played. Richly deserved his half century, went on to score 90. And it was Ravi Bopara who eventually got the breakthrough.
Yeah, Watt really paddled out there and perished in the hunt for a big one. Good catch held by Rajan Dakal, much to the joy of the Rhinos fans, and then Pouncer off, credit to him, good little cameo that got going at the end. Struggled at first, was none off six, but went bang, bang, bang to hit three big sixes to drive the Yaks up to 166. Okay, let's get down to Jess Crow. Jess, who have you got with you?
Well, here I am with the man of the moment is Priyank Panchal. Priyank, a clinical innings from yourself, 90 off just 48 balls. How was it out there?
Yeah, I think it was good. Wicket was playing really well. I think, it was good inning for me, and obviously team has also done really well. I think we have put 166 on the board. I think total looks really good.
And now a very, very experienced player yourself, but how exciting is it coming here to Nepal in front of this incredible crowd?
It is exciting. I would say that they've organized it so well. I think I'm so thankful to Nepal Premier League, and I think crowd, atmosphere, hospitality, everything is really great.
Defending 167, confident?
Sorry?
Confident in defending 167?
I think 166 is a good total. Even we have seen the last game also yesterday. I think if we bowl well, if we execute our plan really well, then definitely we can win this game.
Great stuff. Well done and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Back to comms.
Yeah, many thanks, Jess, and great to hear from a man who's played, 127 first-class games in India as to how well organised things are up here. He was playing that Hong Kong Sixes recently, where poor old India had a disaster. Didn't get many runs there, but wasn't he the star of the show with the bats in match number 2 here of Season 2 of the Siddhartha Bank Nepal Premier League. We're going to be back with all the action in just a few moments' time. Don't go anywhere too far, where the Yaks are going to try and defend their total of 166. Okay, I'm staying in here. It's season 2, it's day 2 of the Siddhartha Bank in Nepal Premier League, powered by Ncell. We've got double-header action for the first time this season. The Chitwan Rihnos, they're taking on the Karnali Yaks. The Yaks, a really good effort batting first. This was the batting card, and the star of the show, well, one man, he has had a shorter journey than most of the international players, just coming up north of the Indian border. Priyank Panchal with all that first-class experience for Maharashtra and Gujarat. 90 off just 48. He looked destined to make just the second century in NPL history. The rest of the batters outside of Pawan Saraf, they struggled. I've got Fazal alongside me. Fazal, you played a lot of first-class cricket in India. You'll know all about this man. Priyank Panchal might be in the autumn, the winter of his career. He's still got a lot of class.
Well, absolutely. I'm glad you mentioned that he's got a fabulous first-class career record for that. The thing is that he probably is one of the unluckiest cricketers not to have donned the Indian colours. 8,500 first-class runs, 8,500 first-class runs should warrant a place in the national side. But now he is out here and he's really doing well for the Yaks.
We've tended to see a lot of Indian players come up north of the border over the last few years, do really, really well. Just the 3 wicket takers. What a piece for Sohail Tanvir, safe save, and Ravi Bopara. I thought it was a reasonably disciplined bowling effort. I thought Kamal Singh was very unlucky not to have Priyank trapped LBW. Max O'Dowd was the first one to fall. Safe save, player of the tournament last time round. What about Ravi Bopara? Just keeps doing it.
You can't buy experience in the market, can you? He, along with Sohail Tanvir, really bowled well. But I was really a little disappointed with the way the Yaks went about their innings. That they've got 167 runs for sure, but I still feel on this deck they're about 15 to 20 runs short. They got 51 in their power play. They got 65 between overs 7 and 12, and they had a very ordinary last 5 overs, Andrew. 52, and they lost 2 wickets. I mean, I'd rather have been 190 for 9 than 166 for 3.
Yeah, I fully agree with that point. I don't think the last 5 overs were that bad, thanks to Pawan Saraf's efforts at the death with those 3 big sixes. For me, the issue was those middle overs. 65 runs from the combined 9 overs in the middle. That's just sort of a fraction more than a run of ball. So for me, that was where they really lost their way. And as a consequence, I think it's a slightly under par total. The batting surface, to me, looks very good.
Well, yes, I was at the pitch and I saw that it was really hard. It was well bound and it had that enough amount of grass to let the ball come onto the bat, Andrew. And we saw some really breathtaking cricket from Priyank Panchal. We saw him hit the ball down the ground, and we also saw him cut and pull well. So when you can hit the ball down the ground and cut and pull well, you are always gonna say that it's a really good cricketing surface.
Yeah, I think it should be as well, for a couple of reasons. There's been next to no cricket for 12 months here, whilst the stadium redevelopment and reconstruction has been underway. There was a few charity games, a couple of corporate matches here and there, but in essence, the square is pristine. It's also a really good time of year here for cricket in Nepal. It's not too late that we're getting that sort of frost on the ground in the mornings yet. We might see that as we go into December. The temperature from a playing perspective, absolutely pristine for both of the two sides. So I'd expect some really high scores. We've never, despite so much good cricket last year, we've never seen a 200 plus total in the NPL at 193, the record last year that was driven by Andreas Klaus's century. In fact, it wasn't. They made 191. It was Bratnagar Kings who made that 193. So I think at some point this season, most likely in a day game, I might be proven wrong. I think we're going to see that 200 landmark being gone past.
Well, absolutely. That's the reason why I say I was a little surprised today. As we start the tournament, the pitches are at their best, and as you get into the latter half of the tournament, that's when they have a few scruff marks. They've been played on pitches, so they start going slow and low. But this pitch perhaps was one of the best pitches that I've seen in some time. The right amount of bounce, the right amount of grass, no turn for the spinner. So I'm a little cautiously maybe apprehensive that these guys out there, when they come out, the Rhinos, have done well in the latter half of the innings, and they should fancy their chances with 166 on the board.
Yeah, I think maybe they'll arguably be the happier of the two sides, is what you're saying. Now, what an opportunity for young Deepak Pahara to open the batting with this man, the former number one batter in the world in this format, Dawid Malan. His globe-trotting exploits, look at those numbers, over 10,000 runs across all contributions for England and right the way around the world, very much in demand. Formerly of Middlesex and of Yorkshire, now applying his trade right the way around the world. 193, the Bratnagar Kings. That was actually in a chase against the Lumley Lions last year, chasing down the 191. That's the highest total we've ever seen at some point throughout MPL Season 2. I think we're going to see that 200 breached. But what can Sampal Kami do with the new ball? A charismatic cricketer. I think he might open the bowling with Mark Watt at the other end. We might see spin and seam in tandem together. He's got a nice, tightly packed offside field, and the slip has come into play as well, because Kami's natural shape will bring the ball away from the right-handed Deepak Pahara. Just waiting for the final preparations. Umpire Vijay Kumar Jha thinks it's time to go. Let's get on with it. Let's play. We've got another game to come. Come on.
Just probably waiting for the clock to tick over. He's satisfied now. There it is. Thumbs up, and play is the call.
Looks for the Yorker, but it ends up as a low full toss. It's a very nice way for Deepak Pahara to be allowed into his innings. Kami maybe indicating his front foot just slipping, and the youngster clips it away for 4.
Well, I'm not sure whether he intended to go that full, but so happens that when you miss that Yorker, it invariably becomes a nice, juicy full toss and put away very nonchalantly, and a real gift to get the Chitwan Rhinos innings off and away.
Flowing drive, but straight to extra cover. Yeah, these two sides both got to the playoffs last year. In essence, they finished 3rd and 4th in the competition. But I thought the Rhinos were the better of these two sides last season, and in many ways they'll have come into today as favourites.
Certainly, they look really formidable on paper. Sopal Kami, 99th match, 94 wickets. Very good economy considering that he bowls inside the power play.
A little bit more about Sampal Kami. Think about the journey that cricket in Nepal has been on, making their first ever T20 World Cup appearance back in 2014 in Bangladesh. He was there. And he was only a kid, a youngster, 18, 19 years of age. And in February, barring an injury, and touch wood that's not going to be the case, he's always kept himself very fit. He'll become the first ever Nepali to play in 3 T20 World Cups. What an achievement for such a charismatic and talented cricketer.
Well, that's not only going to be an achievement for him personally, but Nepal cricket as a whole. It will really impact so many youngsters. It will gee them on to come out there and don their country's color. There's the flag fluttering really proudly. And how proud would the Cricket Association of Nepal be if they can have a really good T20 World Cup, Andrew?
I think they will. I think they'll be one of the stories of the tournament. I think that the 8 associate sides, just like we saw USA last year, upset Pakistan, get through to the Super 8s. That was under the tutelage, remember, of the now Nepal head coach Stuart Law. I think Nepal are going to be one of the stories of the tournament next year. Poor delivery. Not quite out of the middle of the bats. Bahara gets enough to get 4 more. Kami has just started a little shakily, particularly with all his experience. 2 poor balls in his first 4.
Well, he's trying to give the ball the opportunity to swing a little, but just going a little too full. There it is again, a nice juicy full toss, gleefully accepted there by Deepak. The second time he's put them away in pursuit of that 167, 9 for none. We're still in the first over. Change in the field, slip coming out to mid-wicket.
Oh, good delivery. How was this one missed? And acrobatics prevent any extras. That one swung away and then came back in. Shade of Ryan Harris there from Sampal Kami.
Was some serious deviation there. A little effort, the extra effort, and landing it on the seam. And that always happens with these kookaburras. When it lands on that pronounced seam, it could go either way. And there's just enough in the surface to help the bowlers, the faster bowlers, if they're willing to bend their back.
Credit to Arjun Gartry, the keeper there, did really well. Beats the outside edge this time, much more like it, and what we'd expect from Kami to finish the over. It's 9 for none.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
So here we go then. Strap yourselves in, everyone.
Oh my word! Glorious! Wow! That is marvellous.
To be here in the Kathmandu Valley, up in Kurdapur for this second season of the Nepal Premier League. I have to tell you, Fazil, yesterday, being out amongst all of the celebrations and the felicitations of the ground, and it was hugely emotional out there. It was difficult not to feel myself welling up to think of the journey that cricket in this country has taken, the importance of the sport for this country and its identity on the global stage. And the achievement of what they've done here, it's about much more than just cricket. Yes, the sport is what we love. But for them to develop this world-class stadium with those floodlights, you just saw a shot of them whilst we were on commercial break there, an outstanding achievement. And I cannot wait to see where this development goes. The talk is the government are going to invest further and turn it into a 25 to 30,000 seat stadium. It's about 10 to 15 at the moment, depending upon how it gets configured. But yeah, a huge achievement, and just so great to be here in Kathmandu for this second season. It will be spin to open up, but not the spin I felt as though the Yaks might go with in the shape of Mark Watts. Instead, it's going to be Unish. His little mystery spinners, he'll have a few off breaks, a few variations. And Dawid Milan, batting on Nepali soil for the first time. What can he do?
Well, he comes with a huge reputation, doesn't he? Almost 400 games in the T20Is, over 10,000 runs. So he's got the style, he's got the substance, he's got the character, but can he deliver being that big pro?
Yeah, he'll probably take a little while to adjust to the conditions. Myself and HG Ackerman had a bit of a chat to him just before the start of play, and you could see, I think this is one of the things I'm proudest of with where cricket in Nepal has gone. You've got world-class superstars like Milan coming in, being excited to be here. And the reason they're excited, as we see him pierce the gap for 4, is the passion for the sport here. I think he could be one of the stars of the tournament. Finds the gap expertly, gets his first runs in Nepal Premier League cricket.
Well, he's done it with ridiculous ease, hasn't he? Just take a look at that. Just waited on it and gave the ball direction. The good thing was that he opened the face of the bat at the last possible second, piercing that gap to an absolute nicety. So yes, happy times for Nepal cricket here with the stars like this man on your screen out there in the middle.
Talking to Jimmy Neesham in one of the team hotels last night, the same hotel that we're in. And he is pumped to be back. And that word spreads, doesn't it, amongst these players? They all talk to each other.
Well, the other person that I'm waiting to see on the ground is Faf du Plessis. He can have a huge impact on this tournament and take it from where it is now to the upper echelons of cricket, isn't it?
So Chris Lynn come in yesterday, looking forward to seeing how he goes. I think his post yesterday on social media just posted a photo of the training session. He said, Nepal, how good is this place? And that seems to be the reaction from everyone that comes here for the first time. This is a showcase for the country to say to the world, look at how beautiful this is. Chobar Hills in the background there behind, those iconic views. I promise you, this is just the beginning of this journey, this story for where cricket in this country is going. This league, it's going to be massive.
Well, I'm happy to be part of this league as well and happy to be part of this journey, Andrew.
I heard a rumour you're not on social media, is that right?
It's a long story.
I promise you were on social media yesterday. That clip of me giving you the topi is everywhere. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, it's all over the place. End of the second. It's 15 for done.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
Double figures for the first time for young Deepak Bahara. He struggled last year, scores of 7, 2, 8 and 2 in his campaign. He'll be happy to get his second season off to a better start.
Well, just take a look at this for a picture. It's picture perfect, as they say, isn't it, Andrew? And you are so proud of your association with Nepal cricket. Take a look at this. I haven't seen this anywhere that I've done commentary in the local leagues. And just for them to come out there, it is hot today, hotter than it was yesterday. We saw a full house yesterday, but to see this is so heartening. And someone like Mr. Paras Kartke must be really a proud man, just taking a look at these visuals. Really good and augurs well for Nepal cricket.
I promise you, he's a proud man. He's also a very tired man because he and his team have been working night and day to pull this off. Just down the leg side, that should be given as a wide and is.
Yes, you were just telling me how busy a man he is. He came into the commentary box and he said exactly that to me when I said, you look a little relaxed today. He said, I might be looking relaxed, but inside I'm at 100 different places.
Just talking about how beautiful the scenes are, I've got a big surprise for you tomorrow. You will not believe this place tomorrow when the Sudar Prashim Royals come to town and enter the tournament for the first time. Because They, for me, were by a distance the best supported side in the first season, the province of the Far West. So many people have travelled from the Far West to live and to work and to study here in the Valley. It will be a sea of yellow and a complete sellout tomorrow as the Royals take on the Kathmandu Gorkhas in what should be, maybe, the clash between the two favourite teams of the tournament.
But you're seeing the level of cricket, the standard of cricket. I really can't pick a favourite right now, Andrew. I've seen some really good batting. We're seeing some good bowling as well. So all in all, it seems a good all-round tournament. And I'm really impressed with what I'm seeing out here.
Yeah, I think one of the great successes of the tournament is that youngster enjoys a little treat. It's the way in which they've designed this competition. So there's 7 provinces that spread across the country, from the Far West all the way out from Sudar Pashim, who'll come into action tomorrow, all the way to the very Far East, out towards Bharatnagar. We'll see them this afternoon. And it means that everyone feels part of the competition, all 30 plus million people in the country. Edged away, bit of fortune, slip has come out, it'll race for 4.
And fortune for sure. The educated edge down to third man.
Did you get many of those in your career, or are you always stylish through the covers?
Well, I tried to be stylish, but there were few that went that way and the few that took the inner edge as well. Yeah.
Tell me about your career. You predominantly played first-class cricket. Did you kind of miss the evolution of T20?
Well, absolutely. I think my game was cut out for this T20 version of cricket. But unfortunately, back in the day, it was we used to play first-class cricket. It was Ranji Trophy, and then we had the 50-over format, which seems to be kind of redundant nowadays, isn't it?
It's hugely important still for the associate nations. It's their test cricket in many ways. That Cricket World Cup League too, so important. Do you sometimes look on with a bit of envy as to the opportunities players have now in that shorter format?
Well, I'd be lying if I say no. You know, it's really nice to come out there, express yourself the way you want to do it and not the way you were told to do it when I was playing. But I'm so happy now when I see the IPL and some of the franchisees, the way they handle the players, the monetary benefits of playing the game, the modern game, is so heartening to see.
Yeah, I suppose if you look at something like an IPL, the way in which it's changed the game in India, I think the Nepal Premier League is going to do exactly the same for cricket here in Nepal. A youngster like Deepak Bahara, he's a great example, right? He was at an Under-19 World Cup last year. Often players like him at that sort of age of 19, 20, 21, if they weren't good enough, like a Gulshan Jha was, to burst into the international side at a very young age, they might have ended up kind of going into the ether. Yes, there's a 50-over PM Cup, there was a Mayor's Cup T20 as well, but it didn't offer the financial or personal cricketing development opportunities to keep necessarily the team involved in the game. And I think for me, this is now giving these young players a salary, a benefit, a pathway, and a reality to go on to be a professional cricketer full time.
The operative word that you used there was monetary benefit, if I can add 2 words. Now, that's what it's done to cricketers the world over. You can make a career of it now. When we played, it was just a passion. Today, you can actually play the game as a career option, and that's so good to see.
He's fit to continue. Good piece of treatment from the physio. Not sure the physio told him to play that shot though, as he's a big swing and a miss. Ends the 3rd over. 22 for none.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
After a difficult run in the group stage, the Blue Tigers look to finish with pride, while a hungry Bangladesh awaits, determined to do the same. Will India make a statement? Or will Bangladesh steal the bragging rights? The AFC Asia Cup qualifiers. India versus Bangladesh. Watch live only on Code.
That it gives players. Nandan Yadav there, he is the case study for exactly what you're talking about. He had emigrated to Australia. Taken short wide and Milan gives it away. Max O'Dowd's not going to drop that. And out come the Archer celebrations from Munish. Big roar in the crowd as the Yaks have their first.
Well, yes, Unish. Bullseye, he says, and why not? Yeah, there it is. Not the best debuts for David Milan, but he'll come again and take a look at that for a celebration. He knows he's got the big fish, and there she comes. There's the bow has left the arrow and hit the bullseye. David Milan gone for 6, 22 for 1 now.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
This November, get ready as cricket's fastest format returns.
Pull away for 6.
10 teams, 12 days of explosive action.
Magnificent 100.
Where the biggest names in the game go all out. It's T10. Blink and you'll miss it.
That's a big wicket.
It's Abu Dhabi T10 starts November 18th. Watch live on Fan Code.
Young batter, former under-19 captain. He nearly gets himself in trouble with that drive from the very first delivery. What a moment for young Anish. He's got the name of David Milan in his books.
Just take a look at this. Just a little casual there. Ball just coming on. And a nice easy catch. As easy as it gets for Mark Watt. And a good way to celebrate the wicket of David Milan.
Good looking shot. Going to be one bounce and get to the rope. Nice extension. Always a hard stroke to play, forcing against your body over extra cover. And Bahara has started brightly.
Well, this for me, Andrew, is perhaps the most difficult shot in the cricketing manual. You got to get inside the line of the ball, get the ball over extra cover, and he does that with aplomb, doesn't he? Really nice.
Because you're in essence forcing against your body weight, aren't you? And that's why it's a shot that is very difficult. I've got to thank my producer for this. I was trying to remember who usually does this. Mahesh Theeksana of Sri Lanka. I think he's inspired by him. Bowls a little bit like him, doesn't he, with the run up, and out it goes up towards the Himalayas. That virtual bow. We always love a good celebration here at the MPL. Plenty more to come. Intentionally chipped into the leg side. I think you'll enjoy watching Dev Canal bat. I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts on him. He is full of potential.
Well, certainly looking forward to the innings. But what I'm looking forward also to, Andrew, is you've been associated with Nepal cricket for so long. I'm just going to put you on the spot here to pick one team.
Can't do that. Oh, no, straight into the stumps. Oh no, Dev Canal's got to go. The most unlucky dismissal there is, as the Yaks fans roaring. Unish speared it in. It's not the way in which you want to be dismissed. Deepak Bahara's done nothing wrong, and Dev Canal must be cursing his luck against his former side.
Well, yes, and when you're dismissed in that fashion, there it is. It was a catch, and then very fortuitous this for the bowler, and how unfortunate for Dev to be dismissed in that fashion. Well, he'll have to go back. A very dejected Dev Canal for 2. The Rhinos 29 for 2.
Trying to go past two of them. He's scoring goals for fun. That's gone for six.
You think that hurts? Trust me, it's the feeling of ecstasy. When you roll on that silken grass, it's the touch of greatness. This season, experience the touch of greatness in the greatest show on earth. La Liga, streaming live only on Fanco.
He's recently playing out in Canada. He was in America before that. The 105 that he made against Surrey, I think it was in the quarterfinals of that T20 Blast, as the Northland side sprung about as big an upset as we've seen in county cricket in recent times. He's honing in on 10,000 runs. He might get there here in Nepal, and he's also honing in on 500 matches. Remarkable numbers. A great servant to the game. His personal career, of course, has coincided perfectly with T20 cricket, because the very first season of this official format started in England in the county game. Here's the young man I was telling you about. I'm going to give you more of his story in a moment. Nandan Yadav in the national team colours, very talented bowler. Has the art of pace, a good bouncer and a very good slower ball. But if it wasn't for the Nepal Premier League, this young man would still be living in Australia. And in fact, even with the Nepal Premier League, he was due to fly back after flying home for that first season. He had his ticket, he was due to get on the plane, but he was asked by Monty Desai. He said, look, you're not in the starting 11, but I want to get you in and around the national team. His mother called him and he said, you must stay. This is your destiny. You have to stay. He was born to play for Nepal. And now he was part of a T20 World Cup winning squad. He was excellent at points at the death. He's a handy batter lower down. And what a journey he has had. He could be playing for Nepal in that T20 World Cup in February.
Well, who knows if he does well in that World Cup in February, if he plays. I'm sure there'll be scouts there from the IPL. A spot in one of the franchises in the IPL may be up there for grabs as well.
Does have a yard of pace. Just easing into things now. What a dream that would be. Lamachani, the only player from Nepal ever to play the IPL. Here's another look at the wicket. Great angle from the umpire cam. It's the most misfortunate way you can get out. Nothing Dev Canal could have done.
Well, yes, perhaps the only thing that you can fault him with is he just took that start little ahead of time, perhaps. Just being a little critical, that's it.
It's a tricky one, isn't it? Because if you're holding your ground there, you're probably not backing up as well as you should. It's just a complete freak dismissal. Credit to Unish for the way in which he deflected it back onto the stumps. But I think if he doesn't back up in the way in which he is, he might be getting criticised for not being fully at it. Just have a look here. He's doing the right thing, watching the bowler. Smash back. He's never getting home.
Well, just bad luck with the capital B. Well, he'll have his moment out there in the sun. It's a long tournament. We're just in the second day of it. So we'll see a lot of him. You've spoken so much about him. I'm sure he'll get his turn. But at the moment, Ravi Bopara, a lot depends on him. The fortunes of Chitwan Rihnos perhaps rest on his shoulders.
That's the shape that he gets. He's really just warming up here. He's not by any stretch of the imagination up towards the pace that he can be at. He's got a very sharp bouncer. I've seen him surprise many players. He's such a talented young cricketer, good athlete.
Well, Ravi Bopara, the second highest run getter in season 1 of the Nepal Premier League. There he is, biding his time.
knows he has a huge role to play.
He was excellent last season. It was Malantha at the top of the charts from the Bolts, the champions. Rowan Powdell, what a season he had. The Lions couldn't get a win for love nor money. But he led the way, the captain of the national team, the captain of the Lions. I thought he was quite brilliant. In fact, we even considered him for the player of the tournament because his strike rate was up over 160 as well to go with it. But ultimately, safe saves, 275 runs. And I think he had 9 or 10 wickets to go with it. Saw him win the day. Great to see Jimmy Neesham back here at the MPL again, although he's had to have a change of team, of course. Really good over. I think this will be a leg by, so it's going to be just one run off the bat from it. And the Rhinos started with a bit of struggle. It's 31 for 2.
So here we go then. Strap yourselves in, everyone.
Oh my word! Glorious! Wow! That is marvellous. She goes for goal, and what a goal it is! That was a strike!
A peak no footballer has ever scaled. The GOAT has his eyes set on number 1,000. Russian-Saudi League, where CR7 mania runs wild. Watch Cristiano Ronaldo in the Russian-Saudi League, streaming live only on FanCode.
In the top order, Deepak David and
Hey FanCoders, La Liga is coming to FanCode. Feel the passion of La Liga in FanCode. Watch La Liga live and exclusive on FanCode. To all the FanCoders, thank you.
good numbers for him. Yeah, he got a manufacture shot. That's lovely. Just how beautifully he created room outside off stump. What a time to welcome H.G. Ackerman in the comp box as well.
He's not going to give you many poor deliveries, Mark Watt. Anyone with an career economy rate of under 8 is an exceptional T20 bowler. A little end cell super 4 to greet Mark Watt.
A bit of a tricky situation here for the Rhinos, HT.
Yeah, it is. They haven't got off to a rollicking start, but it's certainly not an impossible task, not with the quality that they have to come. Papara at the crease, and we think of Saif Saib as well, who's still to come.
And the captain, Kushal Malla, certainly fancies chances with the left-arm spinner in operation at some point in time.
You know, the left-hander hitting with the spin.
Make some noise,
What's a canny campaigner? He doesn't just overpitch many balls. He varies his pace. He sometimes bowls his famous delivery from behind the crease.
That's a lovely hit. And that clatters into the cushions as well. Papara is finding his touch.
There's hardly a gap between these three men that are around about point. There's a man forward of point, just behind point, then a short third. And he still manages to find the gap between them. That is what they call through the eye of a needle.
The importance of singles here. We've seen that happen time and again. Batters slipping on the turn. Yeah, we talk about the boundaries, HT, but how valuable are these quick singles?
Well, this is what Papara does very well. He doesn't accumulate a lot of dot balls. He can hurt you with boundaries, but what he does cleverly is he bats deep. He'll get a boundary and then a single and maybe another boundary somewhere in the over.
And Deepak Bora is just trying to overhit the deliveries. It's been a good over so far. 10 coming off it, 41 for 2.
This November, get ready as cricket's fastest format returns.
Pull away for 6.
10 teams, 12 days of explosive action.
Magnificent 100.
Where the biggest names in the game go all out. It's T10. Blink and you'll miss it.
That's a big wicket.
It's Abu Dhabi T10, starts November 18th. Watch live on FanCode.
Hey fan coders, La Liga is coming to fan code. Feel the passion of La Liga in fan code. Watch La Liga live and exclusive on fan code. To all the fan coders, thank you.
Yeah, we didn't see Gulshan Jha with the bat this morning. He certainly have a role to play with the ball. What an all-rounder to have in the side. Captain's go-to man, an economy of a little over 7. These are great numbers for an all-rounder. He's certainly mercurial to the side. Surprised not to see him come out to bat, HT?
I was surprised by the whole batting order, really. But I suppose when you post a score in excess of 160, they'll look at that and think, no, we didn't do much wrong. But Panchal played so well that I think he would walk off the field feeling as though that they could have got around the 180 mark. But still a more than competitive total. More than competitive.
Yeah, it depends on how Bopara now approaches this innings and chase. Last season, he was the anchor man. The batters revolved around him. He played percentage cricket.
One of the great chasers, if not the greatest chaser in white ball cricket, Virat Kohli. I think that Bopara plays in a very similar fashion, is that they just understand where they need to be at certain times in the run chase. They make sure that they're there with 2 or 3 overs to go, and then they become very difficult to stop in those last couple of overs. And there's a very good example. Not a bad delivery bowled, but Bopara is still able to get a single off a good ball. You bowl a bad one, he'll put you away, whether he put you away for 4 or 6, but he still scores off your good balls, which is what Kohli was a master of.
Yeah, it's about understanding the situation as well as a batter in that particular moment. And that's exactly what Kohli has done so well over the years. Consistency remains the key that takes you to greatness, as they say, HD. And Bopara too just about bats a similar template, as you rightly pointed out.
So important for Deepak to play his role as well. I mean, I know he's going at a runner ball, but you rightly pointed out trying to overhit it in the previous over. But that's what Bopara won't want. He won't want to stand at the non-striker's end for too long. So if you swing and you miss and you swing and miss again, he's going to get a little bit feisty. So Deepak's got to play his role.
I'm just trying to get into a batter right now with you sitting beside me. In situations like this, the discussion usually is, you're the more accomplished batter, you're timing it well, so you go after the shots, I drop anchor. How do you play to situations and roles?
Look, I think Bopara's just walked to the wicket at the moment. So what he will want to do is he'll want to rotate strike. He won't be looking for too high risk too early on in his innings. He knows what he can do. He knows what's in the tank come the back of the innings once he's set. But once you've got 2 batters that are set at the crease together, both have got to look to be a little bit riskier than what they would normally be, because you've got wickets in that, right? You've got 8 in hand here. Down a deep third. You got 8 in hand, very similar to what the Yaks were when Watt was batting with Panchal, in that you can afford them to both, what we just term, put the foot down. Because if one gets out, it's okay. You've got enough wickets in hand. What you don't want to have is a wicket falling and then another wicket falling in clusters. That's deadly for a side.
And we've so often seen it in T20 cricket, HD. 1 brings 2. Got to be really careful. A partnership at this stage will certainly come in handy. And Deepak Bora, sensible cricket.
The other thing that's really nice for Deepak Bora here is that Bopara, not only in the dressing room but also at the wicket, will be of assistance to him. You know, he may accumulate a dot ball or 2 and get a little bit feisty and want to try and hit one out the ground. Bopara will just have a little whisper in his ear. It's okay, we've got this under control. Bopara will feel as though they're still in a very, very good position to win this game, particularly with the likes of Kushal Mala still to come, the big, powerful striker of the ball.
Yeah, he'll take his time, but he'll want to be in control of the situation as well. 45 for 2.
After a difficult run in the group stage, the Blue Tigers look to finish with pride, while a hungry Bangladesh awaits, determined to do the same. Will India make a statement? Or will Bangladesh steal the bragging rights? The AFC Asia Cup qualifiers, India versus Bangladesh, watch live only on Code.
Chess be playing on the mind of the Chitwan Rihnos. Early days for all the teams, they play.
You think that hurts? Trust me, it's the feeling of ecstasy. When you roll on that silken grass, it's the touch of greatness. This season, experience the touch of greatness in the greatest show on earth. La Liga, streaming live only on Fanco.
Yaks look a good all-round side. Nicely bowled this time. It's the right time to go down to the sidelines. Just grow alongside Manish Sakalkar, the mentor of the Chitwan Rhinos.
That's right, I'm joined here by Manish from the Chitwan Rhinos. Manish, chasing a score of 167. How do you think the team are doing so far?
Everything is going as per planned. But not happy with a couple of wickets that we have lost early on. Would have preferred maybe another 5 or 10 runs on the board. But yeah, good going so far.
And the Rhinos had a very good season last year. How do you plan to replicate that and take it one step further towards the finals?
Well, it's too early now. This is just the first game. I hope we can replicate the last year performance and in fact get better, do better. Let's see, this is the first game. I am hoping that we are going to come back stronger.
Of course, all still to play for. And now finally then, as a mentor, how do you instill confidence in the players throughout the comp?
We have a good bunch of young Nepalese cricketers, along with a good combination of foreign pros coming in, like David Malan, Ravi, who is coming back, Sohail Tanveer, who is a legend himself, and Saif, who has been a great performer. So yeah, I mean, it's a good combination that we're having, and each one of us is supporting each other very well.
Excellent. Well, all the best for the rest of the game today.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Back to comms.
Thank you very much, Jess. A wonderful chat there, Manish Sakalkar. He's pretty sure his boys can put it across the Yaks this afternoon, and a lot depends on how this man takes things forward.
It's just nice talking about the role of the mentor, and he's not the only mentor within the side. There's one at the wicket now. I think David Malan has just got out, because these tournaments are not only about the entertainment and seeing some of the world's best on show. It's also about bringing through some of the local talent.
Yeah, just loses the shape on this one. Nicely fielded at point. It's just off balance there. You're so right in that regard. The 50 coming up as well in the 8th over. It's 50-22.
After a difficult run in the group stage, the Blue Tigers look to finish with pride, while a hungry Bangladesh awaits, determined to do the same. Will India make a statement? Or will Bangladesh steal the bragging rights? The AFC Asia Cup qualifiers, India versus Bangladesh, watch live only on Fanco.
Trying to go past 2 of them. He's scoring goals for fun. That's gone for 6.
He's got stuck underneath this this one. Fielder long on will watch it sail over him. That's a powerful strike, hit with some certainty. And he's got some good distance on it as well. Deepak Bohara.
They're so strong down the ground now these days. These players, you just cannot afford to get your length wrong and get it too full. Doesn't matter if you bowl a variation of pace. If you bowl it into that hitting zone, inevitably, that's the result.
Sometimes when you see shots like that, HD, you feel like asking, what's it all about? Is it the bat? Is it the pitch? Is it the skill of the batter? A combination of everything. Just changing his length here.
It's probably a combination of everything, but I'd like to think that, you know, the players of today play with a lot more freedom. There's, you know, we can get into it. It'll take more than 1 or 2 overs. I've always thought, you know, that you fail today, you play tomorrow. You know, players of yesterday probably only had a game a week. So if you failed on Monday, you had to wait a whole week to get another hit. And I think the traditions of the game are slowly evolving. You know, I mean, you think of how the game was played. I didn't watch it, neither did you. We're not that old, but in the 1800s sort of thing. But, you know, you played a reverse sweep and it was sort of frowned upon. It's not frowned upon anymore. So that's where the game has evolved. You know, you probably as a young man wanted to try it, but you were too nervous to try it in case someone said to you, no, that's not how the game of cricket gets played. Nowadays, you know, a lot of coaches say, go on, try some things.
Powerfully struck. He slapped that down the ground. That's a fine hit. Deepak Bohara is just showing glimpses of his class as well.
I mean, there's nothing traditional about the stroke. Yes, it ends up in a great area of the ground in the traditional V, but this is almost a forehand down the line, a little top spin. Wow, that's a good hit.
Yeah, Stanton Dilua. This time it wasn't that full, but the batter had made up his mind. And he's speaking about the frequency of matches, the approach changing. We talk a lot about the skill set. Where does the mindset come in all of this, HD?
Well, a lot of that comes with experience as well. You know, understanding your game. Now that's good cricket. Very, very good cricket. Yeah, understanding your game, how you play under pressure, where are your scoring areas. Mindset is extremely important to this game. All the great players of the world, very strong minds. But isn't it amazing how we've been talking about the Yaks and the wonderful start they've got? Well, at the same time, the Yaks were 61 for 1, so the Rhinos have edged ahead.
Yeah, good eye for detail there, HD. I didn't spot that. 63 for 2 at this stage. Rhinos, Yaks 61 for 1. Another slower delivery, that's carved back. What a point, and that's going to be a 4. That's experience and class coming to the fore of Ravi Bopara. This has turned out to be a very good over. 17 runs coming off it. They're finding a move on. It's 67 for 2.
So here we go then. Strap yourselves in, everyone.
Oh my word! Glorious! Wow! That is marvellous. She goes for goal, and what a goal it is! That was a strike!
Trying to go past 2 of them.
He's scoring goals for fun.
That's gone for 6.
After a difficult run in the group stage, the Blue Tigers look to finish with pride, while a hungry Bangladesh awaits, determined to do the same. Will India make a statement? Or will Bangladesh...
In the morning tide played in the afternoon. Nicely bowled. And I think the same is going to happen here later this evening because we know the dew comes. So gripping the ball late on at night under the lights is not easy for the bowlers. But we certainly saw the ball spin a little bit yesterday in the first innings.
Oh, he's lost the shape on this one. Should be taken. Straightforward catch. Yuvraj Khatri strikes in his very first over. The youngster making it count. He brings out his celebration. The Yaks are on their feet as well. They are delighted. And Deepak has thrown it away.
His eyes lit up, Deepak, because it was a real drag down. And he thought, well, I'm going to pick my spot and I'm going to whack this over deep mid wicket. But the ball just hurried on. It hurried on. And he didn't get anywhere near the middle of the bat, and it's the captain that hangs on to the catch. Played well, threatened. Deepak Bahara goes for 42. The Rhinos 67 for 3.
So here we go then. Strap yourselves in, everyone.
Oh my word! Glorious! Wow! That is marvellous. She's going to a goal, and what a goal it is! That was a strike!
The players will get a chance to regroup.
Yeah, what's Richards is mentor, fair enough. 18 years, he's been amongst wickets.
Yeah. Yeah, wasn't the greatest of deliveries here for 18-year-old Yuvraj Khatri. Well, there again, Deepak Bahara, as we kept speaking about the fact that he's trying to go too hard and maybe overhit the ball, just handed over a very soft dismissal by the end of it. An anticlimax to an innings that was showing so much of promise.
He's just trying to hit it so hard that he hasn't found near the middle of the bat. It's almost hit quite high up on the bat and presented a simple catch. Well, he enjoys taking wickets. There'll be many more in his career.
He had quite a splash in the under-19 age group tournaments. It's quite a sensation. And I was just looking at his numbers in the domestic under-19 tournaments. He's got a 4-4, 5-4, and he's consistently been amongst wickets. And that's the hallmark of a good bowler. Captain Kushal Malla has a job to do. Some work here. 164, 3 down. Good sign, HD spinners being aggressive bowlers.
Well, they have become the aggressors in T20, the primary wicket takers. Everyone thought that T20 was going to be the death of the spinner. Well, it's been the resurrection, really, because they are so vital, and good ones, well, they don't win you games, they win you tournaments.
He's just found that control so well. It's almost an unwritten rule, right, actually, that you have to have a leg spinner in a T20 format.
The leg spinner or the mystery spinner. But again, it's not the tradition. You don't bowl the traditional Shane Warne type of leg spin, which turns, finds the outside edge and goes to slip. I think we always refer to the great Rashid Khan. And you bowl stump to stump. And you bowl a length that doesn't allow a batter to just step and hit you down around the ground. So you almost bowl that back of a lens delivery, forcing the batter to try and play across the line, which is what we saw Deepak try and do and fail at. So it's a different type of bowler that we see being successful in T20 to what we see maybe as a wrist spinner in the longer version of the game.
Brilliant start here by 18-year-old Yuvraj Khatri. He has a spring in his stride, a wicket and only 2 runs in his first over. It's been a good one for the Yaks, 69 for 3.
Trying to go past 2 of them. He's scoring goals for fun. That's gone for 6. Trying to go past 2 of them. He's scoring goals for fun. That's gone for 6.
The Rhinos will think as though they can start with a victory. What an elegant shot. A languid swing of the bat. Majestic that one was, all the way for 6 runs.
Easy life, isn't it? It was in the slot, but he still had to put it away. A nice free swing, real extension of the arms there, and he did it to an absolute nicety. 90 more needed, 92 more of 59 deliveries. Match is well and truly on.
Better length this time. Just drags it. And Bapara misses out. Can't believe he misses out. Every match, we're going to have one of these. It's the Happy Dent sparkling smile of the match. There's a Happy Dent hamper on its way to you, madam. It's 2 women in 2 days. The women dominating the Happy Dent sparkling smile thus far.
Well, there's just something we see out here in Nepal. I've seen everyone smiling, everyone really happy. A happy nation, isn't it?
Happy because the Festival of the Himalayas is back. Season 2 of this Siddhartha Bank Nepal Premier League. And that's why everyone is happy. Anil Shah, I said it yesterday on air, but for those who weren't watching, Anil Shah said something to me at the toss on his birthday. I forgot to wish him a happy birthday, so happy belated birthday, Anil. He said, Andrew, this is one of the few things that is going to give joy and happiness and hope to the people across the nation of Nepal. That's why it's the place to be, to come and be a part of this festival. And I promise you, if you haven't got your tickets yet, get on now, because all of these games throughout this competition are going to sell out. So come and enjoy it in person. Come and feel this atmosphere, that moment where young Yuvraj Khatri took his first ever wicket in the Nepal Premier League from just his 2nd ball. I was down pitch side, his celebrations, full body goosebumps, spine tingling stuff.
It certainly is magical, isn't it, when you pick up your first wicket and get the big monkey off your back, and then you get on with life, become a better bowler, play for your country, and who knows, better things can happen to you.
Yeah, and I assure you, many in the know in cricket in Nepal think a huge amount of young Yuvraj Khatri. Probably wasn't the best ball that he bowled to get his first wickets. But as Nepal fans know, myself being a former leg spinner, I have a massive soft spot for wrist spin and for the hardest art that we have in our game. And this for me, I know it's early, day 2, it was moment of the tournament thus far for me. Simple catch, and watch the young man, the celebration. Calmly thuds it into the ground, and then group, he says, thank you very much for showing faith in me. Can you imagine that feeling as 18 years of age? Edged
through the vacant slip area. Mark Watt will tidy up down at deep third. 11 bowled, 79 for 3.
After a difficult run in the group stage, the Blue Tigers look to finish with pride, while a hungry Bangladesh awaits, determined to do the same. Will India make a statement? Or will Bangladesh steal the bragging rights? The AFC Asia Cup qualifiers, India versus Bangladesh, watch live only on Fancode.
Scoring goals for fun. That's gone for 6.
Should have an award for the best dress side. That shot again, this time in the air, put away. That'll go all the way for 6. Will make the Chitwan Rhinos feel really good. Munish under pressure here. 82 more needed from 53 legal deliveries.
Trademark Kushal Mala. This is the area that he loves, whether it's off the front foot or back. He murders spin bowling. They took the wrist spinner off to go to the off spinner to take it away. But he can hit 6s on any ground in the world, this young man. I'm expecting a big NPL from him, particularly after a difficult T20 World Cup qualifiers. Just 33 runs in those 6 innings. Stuart Law kept the faith with him. He's mercurial, he's talented. Remember when he went to Pakistan for that youth league, it was Viv Richards who was his mentor. And there's a shade of that Isaac Vivian Alexander Richards swagger in this young man.
Really big words this coming from Andrew Leonard.
Just the coolness of him. Is there a cooler man in the world than Sir Viv?
Well, I haven't found one, if there is one.
Chris Gayle has tried, but I don't think he's ever surpassed King Viv.
Well, he's got his own candor, really. Chris Gayle, he has his own style, his own way of doing things. But I think Sir Viv was cut from another cloth altogether.
The coolest single human I've ever had the fortune to meet. Inspired not just millions in the Caribbean, but tens and hundreds of millions around the world with the way in which he played the game. Now, we had a very special guest from the Caribbean last year. Brian Charles Lara came in as the ambassador for the last 3 days. I'm not saying we definitely have someone coming, but can you imagine someone like that, Sir Viv, or maybe Chris Gayle came and blessed us with their presence for the last week of the tournament?
You know what will do Nepal cricket really give them a boost if they could have someone like the great Sachin Tendulkar coming here. That'll be a huge moment for Nepal cricket.
He has been here once before. Now, that was with work for the United Nations, where he's one of their, I think it's actually, in fact, UNICEF, isn't it, where he's an ambassador, the children's charity. I have to say, I used to work at the ICC and got to meet Sachin several times in terms of his goodwill ambassador work. Unbelievable human, what a statesman, what an ambassador for our sport.
Absolutely unparalleled, and he loves. We'll come back to that. 12 done, 93.
So here we go then. Strap yourselves in, everyone.
Oh my word! Glorious! Wow! That is marvellous. She goes for goal, and what a goal it is! That was a strike!
A peak no footballer has ever scaled. The GOAT has his eyes set on number 1,000. Russian-Saudi League, where CR7 mania runs wild. Watch Cristiano Ronaldo in the Russian-Saudi League, streaming live only on Fancode.
Well, just 8 overs remaining, and it's the best part of 10 runs per over required. We are, I think, building up and boiling up to a classic final over finish. It's going to be a change of ends for the young wrist spinner, Yuvraj Khatri. Yeah, Stuart Law was who first alerted me to this young man earlier in the year. He was really impressive. They pulled together the best 60 players in the country for a 4-team series. As Mala, well, you don't even need to question whether that's going to go over the rope. He's got power to burn, this young man. There is a shade of Sir Viv in there. Another maximum for Mala.
Well, not a real bad delivery. They just tossed it up a little, but he picked it up really well. Just goes to show how good a batting surface this still is. He picked it up and deposited it over long on. A huge hit, no doubt, but not all done yet for your young Yuvraj. There was a decent delivery to bowl.
After Jimmy Neesham, it was Mala who hit the next most number of sixes in 2024, 15 for him. Murder spinners. And that's just where I think Sampal Kami might have misstepped. He might have had the game plan. Okay, in these middle overs I bowl my spinners, but you've got to know your matchups. He's got to know that it should have been Gulshan Jha or maybe Kami himself to have a go at Mala early in his innings. You just hear the ping off the bat, can't you? Such a crisp hitter of the ball.
You just took the words right out of my mouth. I just wanted to say, the way it pings off the middle of the bat. It's a real nice sound when we listen to it on our earpieces as well, isn't it?
That's the thing. I suspect you, good batters, I was a terrible batter. Good leg spinner, terrible batter. It's the thing you still dream of, isn't it? That noise, that perfect timing and rhythm, nothing quite like it. It almost feels effortless when it's perfect.
Nothing better than to hear the sound of bat on ball, especially in the center of the willow, the meat, as we call it. Just need to time the ball. The bat speed through the ball is so critical in this game.
Just skidding on. He does have a wrong one, but I haven't seen it yet. That one's just maybe pushed out of the front of the hand, skidding on. Not the one he's attempted to turn. You sense this partnership is critical, don't you? The power of Mala, complemented well by the experience of Ravi Bopara. And the hundreds come up. I think they might be pacing this quite nicely. It does feel as though we're destined to go to the 20th and final over. The 100 does come up, and it's 100 for 3.
So here we go then. Strap yourselves in, everyone.
Oh my word! Glorious! Wow! That is marvellous. She goes for goal, and what a goal it is! That was a strike!
This November, get ready as cricket's fastest format returns.
All the way, 6.
10 teams, 12 days of explosive action.
Magnificent 100.
Where the biggest names in the game go all out. It's T10. Blink and you'll miss it.
That's a big wicket.
It's Abu Dhabi T10 starts November 18th. Watch live on Fancode.
Is it too late for him to return? I feel strongly it should have been earlier in Kushal Mala's innings as soon as he got to the crease.
Well, with 66 needed of 41, a couple of wickets here could certainly set the cat amongst the pigeons. A little bit outside and then you panic inside the dugout as well.
He's a fan favourite, this man, Sampal Kami. Look at her, what she brought in here. Looks like a Sampal Kami calendar. Might have a go at that, 2026. He gives you enough poses to get a calendar together. Good Yorker, nails it, top ball. Mala's proficiency against pace bowling contrasted with his success against spin bowling. It's notable.
Just show the feel of everything. There's a third man inside the circle. There's point inside the circle. So if he's going to bowl wide and full, he's got to be really careful there because there's no protection behind them. He'll have to stick within the width of the stumps.
Mala tries to go to the leg side but doesn't get anything of it. Gulshan Jah holds on. Another big celebration. It's the better matchup for the Yaks. One captain gets the other. Massive, massive moment in the game. And Gulshan Jah's fielding, it's got better and better and better in recent times. That one a bit reminiscent of the one he took against the West Indies.
Well, the best way to set the batting team and their run rate on the back foot is picking up wickets, and a real Red Bull energetic moment of the match. Thanks the heavens above. A good innings from Kushal Malla comes to an end. The Rhinos now 101 for 4.
So here we go then. Strap yourselves in, everyone.
Oh my word! Glorious! Wow! That is marvellous. She's going to the goal, and what a goal it is! That was a strike!
Trying to go past two of them.
He's scoring goals for fun.
That's gone for 6.
A good strike rate too. He's playing a slightly different role though, down at number 6 for his new team, the Chitwan Rihnos. Yet to get the inside story as to why Sudhir Pashim did not retain the player of the tournament. Can you remember that happening before in a franchise event? You think your player of the tournament, your franchise loves you, surely you're going to go back to Sudhir Pashim. But as soon as it became apparent they weren't going to re-sign him, understandably, Chitwan said, thank you very much, we'll have you back.
Well, it beats me as well, but it's an opportunity for the Chitwan Rhinos. Nicely played off the back foot. That's the kind of experience that he brings to the table as Ravi Bopara. But just let's take a look at the reason why Zaib is out there in the middle. A slight error in judgment, perhaps, adrenaline pumping, and he sees the ball in the air, the fielder under it, and what a fabulous catch this by Gulshan. And Sompal really picking up a very, very key wicket at a very key moment in the game.
Same position as the catch he took against the West Indies in that inaugural Unity Cup in Sharjah. But he had to dive even further for that one. That was a breathtaking catch. Floods into the pad, going to miss the leg stump, I feel. Probably pitched outside as well, and umpire Rambakwela will not be moved. He will signal leg byes though, so Zaib will keep the strike. It's 104 for 4.
Trying to go past two of them.
He's scoring goals for fun.
That's gone for 6. So here we go then. Strap yourselves in, everyone.
Oh my word! Glorious! Wow! That is marvellous. She's going to the goal, and what a goal it is! That was a strike!
After a difficult run in the group stage, the Blue Tigers look to finish with pride, while a hungry Bangladesh awaits, determined to do the same. Will India make a statement?
Look at his numbers last year for Northamptonshire in the county championship. Leading run scorer in Division 2, 1,425 runs at an average of 65. Thank you very much indeed. And that was capitalising and building upon Long way up and a long way back. Up towards the last remaining grass, back at the ground, dropped in the crowd. Zabe takes a liking to the young wrist spinner.
The player of the tournament certainly making a mark nice and early. Let's take a look at this. Down the track, down the ground. Nice extension of those arms, using those long levers and put down in the crowd as well. But what a way to start the innings. Much must give the Rhinos a lot of hope now. 57 of 34.
I just feel we're building up to a final over finish. We're going to see plenty of them. Promise you that this season. The sides have been very well matched throughout season one. I think it'll be the same again this year. But what form he's been in, a lot of the success of last season in England, he said he put down to his experiences here in Nepal. He loved every second of it. And he's so happy to be back, albeit for a different team. I wonder, will the Sudar Prashim Royals rue letting Zabe slip through their hands? At his length at the moment, Khatri. There'll be nerves in his opening appearance.
I'm really impressed with the way Karnali Yaks have approached this game, and at 55 of 32, I'm just hoping that they get another couple of wickets, make it a little interesting, but I'm going with the Yaks.
Can't beat the man. Mark Watts at short third. I'm not going either way. I'm going a final over finish.
Come on, Andrew, come on. Just not sit on the fence. I know it's a comfortable place to be on.
I'm usually not on the fence, but Mikhail Viswar, he's chomping at the bit to get in here, because I think he's going to be calling a super over. That's where I think this is headed. Now, has he got enough of this? I don't think so. Put down! Massive moment in the game. Nandan Yadav, it slips through his hands. Is that the match gone with it? It should have been a second for Yuvraj Khatri. Instead, it's 6 to the total. 118 for 4.
Hey fan coders, La Liga is coming to fan code. Feel the passion of La Liga in fan code. Watch La Liga live and exclusive on fan code. To all the fan coders, thank you.
This November, get ready as cricket's fastest format returns.
Full away for 6.
10 teams, 12 days of explosive action.
Magnificent 100.
Where the biggest names in the game go all out. It's T10. Blink and you'll miss it.
That's a big wicket.
It's Abu Dhabi T10. Starts November 18th. Watch live.
And sent out with a plan. Bopara just playing the role of the anchor. There he is, will take a single and he'll tell Zabe, play your fearless brand of cricket. Very good afternoon, HT Ackerman. Oh, that image told a story, or the little one knew as well. The Yaks may have put down a huge opportunity. But a game just turning out to be no ifs and buts here for the chasing side. On paper, you see the Rhinos and you'd want to believe they're a side to chase down any total, any target. Yeah, this partnership is certainly growing. 19 in 11. What a man to have at this stage, Ravi Bopara. Soft hands, pushing for the second. He wants the second, sent back. A bit of a misfield, but they'll settle for one.
Good ball, mate.
The tension certainly reaching its crescendo. He's miscued this one. Tries of catch it. Fielder coming underneath. Oh, desperate dive and attempt. But the batter survives. In back-to-back overs for the second time, Zabe has been put down. This one was rather difficult. Gave the charge, got the throwing of the bat. The bat turned in the hand. Desperate attempt, but he was nowhere close to that. The Yaks will need some element of luck In all of it, Ravi Bopara is absorbing the pressure. He got to play it in the gaps. Quick single here. Pressure building on the fielding side. An asking rate over 10.5. 6 wickets in hand. Arjun Saud still very much there.
Yeah, he's just going to knock it around. Two very different methods being used here. Zaib is just aggressive. That's all it is. Just aggression. Bopara is comfortable to knock it around. Into the 16th, we've got ourselves a tight one. 1-2-5 for 4.
After a difficult run in the group stage, the Blue Tigers look to finish with pride, while a hungry Bangladesh awaits, determined to do the same. Will India make a statement? Or will Bangladesh steal the bragging rights? The AFC Asia Cup qualifiers, India versus Bangladesh, watch live only on Fanco.
He's scoring goals for fun. That's gone for 6.
That's a mighty hit. Flat batted. And that just thunders into the stands. Ravi Bopara says, it's my time to take center stage.
It's brilliant. It really is a brilliant shot. And again, it's effortless. And it goes such a long way back. Bopara is doing this again. He's 40 off 28, and you can barely remember a stroke that he's played.
Silently, he's accumulated those important runs at a strike rate of 142. Just 2 4s and 2 6s. Just goes to show how beautifully he's rotated strike. A rare dot delivery. At the moment, they're in the driver's seat. The Rhinos. There it is. Who wouldn't want to be in the driver's seat over here, HD? The Omora Jeko, Nepal's fastest growing EV brand, already has over 1,500 EVs on the road with wide charging and service support across the country. HD has taken a fancy to it, I realize.
It's just a long way for me to take it home. And unfortunately, I can't drive it home either.
I'll drive you all around, HD. What are friends for? Beautifully driven straight to the fielder, shy of the stumps. Direct hit. Everyone goes up in the air. That's been referred upstairs, but I want to believe Bopara made it in time.
A little thumbs up from Bopara. Again, look, not even worried. Nandan was convinced. And maybe that's what a direct hit does. But Bopara, he just standing there saying, come on, we need to get on with things. Oh, he's okay.
Yeah, the batter knows best if he's made it or he's shot. And Ravi Bopara's calm demeanor post that appeal was fair indication that he ran really well. He's a veteran, remember that. There goes the cheer and the roar in the stadium as well. A lot of support here for the Yaks and the Rhinos too, remember. They still have some batting left, HD.
Yeah, Arjun Saud still to come. If the batting order is what we think it's going to be, these guys have got to get them a little closer here. If they're at the wicket, they win. But there's many a twist in the tail here in Nepal.
Andrew predicted a super over in match number 2 on day 2 of season 2. Smartly done. You've got to be aware of the field when you're batting in this stage of the game. And Zeb, despite the big hits, is also showing that he's a very smart operator with the bat.
And he's a form operator. An incredible county season. Very unlucky not to make the England Lions. So the confidence is there, the stroke play is there. Can he finish it off? But he'll look at the other end and go, you know what? The calmness is on the other side. I can just play.
Yeah, at the moment you sense there's fire and ice in the middle, the HD. Fire in Zeb and ice in Ravi Bopara. The asking rate a little over 9. This partnership 35 and 19. Zeb is batting at a strike rate of 200. Pressure on Nandan Yadav. Put a catch down sometime back. Much better.
We say that run rate required is 9, but there's not a lot of overs left here. There's just 3. If that run rate is 9 with 10 overs to go, it can get out of control very quickly. But these two will look there and say, you know what, even if we have an over of 7 or 6, 12 of the last over is very gettable. So we can take this to the last over. At the moment, they're in the driving seat, the Rhinos.
That's why if the Yaks look back at that innings of theirs, they'll certainly feel they were a few runs short. That will come back to haunt them. Fuller delivery in the gap. That's 4 more. 15 runs of over number 15. And Zeb is putting on a show with a bat in this chase. 140 for 4.
Hey fan coders, La Liga is coming to fan code. Feel the passion of La Liga in fan code. Watch La Liga live and exclusive on fan code. To all the fan coders, thank you.
This November, get ready as cricket's fastest format returns.
All the way for 6.
10 teams, 12 days of explosive action.
Magnificent 100.
Where the biggest names in the game go all out. It's T10. Blink and you'll miss it.
That's a big wicket.
It's Abu Dhabi T10. Starts November 18th. Watch live on FanCode.
A crazy delivery, though. It really was. You mid-off up, extra cover up, and you bowl a full toss. And off stump, you're bound to get laced through extra cover. Now, it was touching 10. It was around 9.7, that boundary. 9 and over required.
Yeah, you don't want to leave too much for later. Sompal Khami brings himself on. He's so good in front of the wicket. Ravi Bopara, you talk about playing in the way. He's put on an exhibition today, HD.
Yeah, and he's bowling himself at a critical period here. He wants to try and bowl a nice tight over here just to give his last 2 bowlers as many runs as he possibly can. Nandan Yadav is an expert at bowling at the back end. He bowled some wonderful Yorkers last year to close out a couple of games. So he's going to be required to finish off, you would think. He's got 1 over left. Are they brave enough to bowl the left arm spinner of what? Or is it Gulshan? Gul, anything can happen.
Oh, he's got stuck underneath this one. He's hit that with some certainty, and that's into the stands. What an innings Zeb is playing this afternoon. He's taking his team home.
Well, 1 out the ground and then nearly at a runner ball. That's how quickly it changes at the back end of an innings. Kami makes an error. Safe says, I got you. From 16, does he change the way he plays, or does he keep the foot down firmly on the accelerator?
He's been moving wonderfully well this afternoon, and he's been depositing the ball into the stands. Zeb is saying the afternoon belongs to me, and he gets the nod of approval from Ravi Bopara as well.
Wow, what a well-timed run chase this has been. The Yaks Yaks would have thought they were ahead of the game, but always while Bopara was there, they had a chance. He hung around, he built the innings, and then Safe Save walked to the wicket and said, I'll take care of the net run rate, Ravi. You just stand and watch what form really looks like. 38 from 15. This is some innings.
At one end, you have the class of Bopara. At the other end, you have the carnage of Zeb. And if you're a bowler, you'll certainly be at the receiving end. They're running out of ideas here, the Karnali Yaks.
This is always the situation that I've always questioned. Does he keep going? Does he try and hit it out the ground, but risk getting out and possibly giving the Yaks a way in the back door? I've got a feeling he's in the mood, though.
This one came in. Oh, that's been given. Sompal Kami strikes at just the right time, creates a bit of an opening, sends the danger man Zeb back. Are we witnessing a twist in the tail? There's still so much life left in this contest.
Massive damage done by Zaid. He wasn't happy with the decision. Bopara at the non-strikers end, he even questioned the height. Well, it certainly pinches on. It's tight. It's not as high as Bopara indicated. But Sompal Kami has given his team a chance. It is an outside chance, but it's a chance. Zaid goes for a brilliant 38, 153 for 5.
Hey fan coders, La Liga is coming to fan code. Feel the passion of La Liga in fan code. Watch La Liga live and exclusive on fan code. To all the fan coders, thank you.
Scoring goals for 5. That's gone for 6.
In the 18th over, the ball swung.
Call that the skill of Sompal Kami there, the craft. Arjun Saul opened for Lumbini Lions last season. Drafted in at number 7, yeah. He's a good batter, but he's not been acquainted to these situations of late. Now just take a look at the dismissal once again. The batter had shuffled and come too far across. Yeah, I just felt that could have been just moving away from leg. He was very vocal and vociferous, and look at that for a send-off. Yeah, tempers flaring here. Both teams desperate for a win. Nicely worked away. Arjun Saul will get off the mark, and he'll also keep strike for over number 19. What a game this is turning out to be. A wicket and 14.
Scoring goals for 5. That's gone for 6.
After a difficult run in the group stage, the Blue Tigers look to finish with pride, while a hungry Bangladesh awaits, determined to do the same. Will India make a statement? Or will Bangladesh steal the bragging rights? The AFC Asia Cup qualifiers, India versus Bangladesh.
Sweet. Will they push for the second? Bopara says, I'll keep strike.
It's a good bit of fielding by mid-off. He's run a lovely angle there to prevent him from going through for two. So easily you can just drift around and let them trundle through for a two. But Sompel Kami's got himself in the right position. It's critical position, long off and long on in these late stages.
Pure perfect exhibition of timing. That's Ravi Bopara. What a time to bring out a six. This man's in control of the chase.
I cannot describe how difficult a shot this is. And Bopara is not going to help me because he makes it look terribly easy. And that little fleck of white you see on his chin is not snow. That's experience.
And you have a lot of it as well, HD. This time, straight to the fielder. Yeah, but you rightly pointed out, effortlessly he made it look so easy to a ball that was not in his range. Rhinos one hit away from registering their first win and getting their first points in season 2. Yeah, as a fielding side, at the moment you'll only hope that you see the back of Bopara in the very next ball. 6 of 8, you know who's walking across that finishing line at the moment. Yeah, makes room for himself. That's in the gap. One bounce for. They're getting closer, and they almost have 2 points in their bag. Courtesy Ravi Bopara brings up another fine half century in his very first outing. He just continues from MPL season 1. He's a class act and a batting masterclass. He's got a lot of height on this one. Field is circling underneath it, and that will be taken. A bit of an anticlimax. Here for Ravi Bopara. Trying to go for the big flourish. Misses out, and the wicket here for the Yaks.
He's disappointed, Bopara. You can understand he's done so much hard work, spectacular work. But he also knows that he's done enough. He's done enough today. Simple catch at extra cover to get what a wicket, but what an innings. Controlled, that's what it was. Controlled, responsible. It's 52, and the Rhinos are nearly there now, 165 for 6.
After a difficult run in the group stage, the Blue Tigers look to finish with pride, while a hungry Bangladesh awaits, determined to do the same. Will India make a statement? Or will Bangladesh steal the bragging rights? The AFC Asia Cup qualifiers, India versus Bangladesh, watch live only on Fanco. This November, get ready as cricket's fastest format returns.
All the way for 6.
10 teams, 12 days of explosive action,
Magnificent 100.
where the biggest names in the game go all out.
That's a powerful strike, and what a way to register a win if you're a Chitwan Rhino here. Arjun Saul with a home run takes his team home. This has been clinical, convincing, and a cohesive effort by a very happy Chitwan Rhinos team.
The Yaks will look back and they will know that they were 15 or 20 short. Maybe they'll look at their tactics and how they altered their batting order and prevented big hitters from coming to the crease. But what we cannot take away is the way that the Rhinos went about this run chase, and they look a very, very strong batting lineup. A little bit of work to do with ball in hand, but when you look at the likes of Deepak, David Malan, who never got any runs today, Ravi Bopara, Dev Kunal, the ability that he has, Kushal Mala and Saif Saab, and even Arjun Saad, they bat a long way down. This is a spectacular batting lineup, and one that I look forward to watching while this tournament progresses.
Absolutely. 7 complete batters here for the Rhinos. When you take a look at the top 7, that flag will certainly fly high. That's because it's been a very strong performance here by the Rhinos. They get off the blocks in emphatic style, a thumping win. If I had to add a cliche word over here, they're looking a very, very good team, not just on paper, but on the park as well. And that was a decisive winning shot as well, HD.
Field was up, and you always felt that Sahil Tanvir had just made his way to the wicket to stand and admire what was to come. And Arjun Saad said, well, you know what, if you're going to bring everyone up, I'll finish it in the fashion that I've been watching my other batters play throughout today. The captain has a win under his belt, but I tell you what, they look a major, major threat in this tournament.
Yeah, the Yaks will certainly want to go back and look at this game as a case of a couple of missed opportunities, particularly with the bat. Ravi Bopara got his first 50 in season 2. What a man to have in the side. Good to see him being retained as well. Arjun Saad being drafted into the Rhinos. He's making it count. The very fine wicket-keeper bat was with the Lumbini Lions last time around. We'll take a look at that chase. And the chase was all set by Deepak Bohra's innings. Played some good lusty hits, tried really hard, and perished at 42. But then came a very decisive partnership between Bopara and Malla, and after that Zeb and Bopara just took the game away from the Yaks in what was a lovely counter-attack and an innings laced with a lot of class and carnage in the middle. They got home with 4 wickets in hand and 5 balls to spare.
Yeah, a couple of early wickets, but from there on in, consistent partnerships, and always better than a runner ball. Deepak and Ravi Bopara, Kushal and Ravi Bopara. But the one that changed the momentum of this game was between Bopara and the very impressive safe side. 52 from just 25 deliveries.
Sumbal Kami looked good. 2 wickets for 33. Munish Thakuri got a wicket for 24. Nandan Yadav had an off day at office today. Went for 33 in his 3.1. Mark Watt didn't quite light up the stage the way he would have liked to. He's a far better bowler than those numbers suggest. 1 for 33. Yeah, but that kind of an effort where the batters may have fallen short for the Yaks and didn't give enough to the bowlers to defend as well. We got to really credit the Rhinos as well for a very strong batting effort. It all belonged to the Yaks in the chase with Deepak Bohra walking out with David Malan. He looked good. Didn't miss out on the full opportunities that came at him. David Malan showed his class, not before he perished trying to force the issue on the offside. But Bohra didn't stop. He continued to play his fearless brand of cricket. An element of misfortune here for Dev Khanal as he was run out at the other end. But then Deepak Bohra and Ravi Bopara brought out a show with a partnership and the bat.
Bopara was good, his 42, a little muscle down the ground for 4. Bopara showed his class in basically everything before Deepak Bohra gave the young man Yuvraj his first wicket of this year's edition of the MPL. But a lovely innings as well. Kushal Malla promised with a couple of lusty blows, 20 off just 15 deliveries. We'll see a lot more of him, that's for sure, before he was nicely taken in the deep as well. And then the partnership, the critical partnership between Saif Saib and Ravi Bopara, dominated by Saib, who was particularly strong down the ground. He was given a life at long off, but it really was something to behold. Quite the impressive stroke play. Eventually given out LBW. But there was no panic here because Bopara was still at the wicket, and you always felt that he would take the side home. That for me was the shot of the day, and this was Bopara's final boundary going to his 50.
Yeah, just when it looked like he'd take his team home, he perished. A very soft dismissal, found the toe end of the bat. But all of this came a little too late for the Yaks. Arjun Saad got the winning hit out of his bat with a perfect home run to give his team 2 crucial points. A confirmation from Kirtipur. It's the Chitwan Rihnos who emerged victorious over the Karnali Yaks in game number 2 on day 2 in season 2 of the Siddhartha Bank Nepal Premier Leagues. Yaks put into bat, managed 166. It was a batting masterclass for Priyank Panchal, an MPL debut. 1948. Pawan Saraf showed glimpses of what he can bring to the table as a hard-hitting all-rounder. He got 27 and 16. Zeb was amongst wickets. So was Ravi and Sohail. So the overseas recruits really coming to the party today for the Chitwan Rhinos. And then in the chase, Ravi, Deepak and Zeb practically took control of things and took their team home with 4 wickets in hand and 5 balls to spare. Yeah, lots more lined up on the other side. Quite a few players will walk away with the honours. The presentation is lining up with Andrew Leonard. We'll get all of this on the other side of a very short break.
TV umpire to director. Madip, the timing for the second match has been changed to 4:15.
Okay, 4:15.
So toss at 3:45.
Thank you so much. Good to know that.
It's all because of you, I know.
Yeah.
Smart move, Madip. Very smart move. Okay.
Thank you so much.
We're coming to you live from the Tribhuvan University International Cricket Stadium. Match number 2 is out of the way. Chitwan Rhinos prevailing over the Karnali Yaks, and it's been a very strong performance by them. They've chased down 166 in some style with 4 wickets in hand and 5 balls to spare. Full credit to the middle order and top order of the Rhinos, just showing that they're very strong across all these batting positions. Certainly Priyank Panchal lit up the stage earlier in the day on MPL debut, got 1948 for the Karnali Yaks, but he didn't find much support at the other end. Not before Pawan Saraf just showed that he can really hit the big long sixes as well. Nevertheless, it's a day that belonged to the Rhinos. They want to believe that they have it in them to make it to the playoffs as well and go the distance too in the tournament. But it was Ravi Bopara's innings that stood out once again. He recorded another 50 in only 36 deliveries.
Now we talk about an anchor innings, a controlled innings. While Bopara was there, I think everyone felt that the Rhinos had a chance. at this tricky run chase. Some of the stroke play was sumptuous. What a player he is. And the Rhinos will really enjoy having him in their side.
Yeah, Bopara certainly showed what experience brings to the table. The 40-year-old ran like a 20-year-old in the middle, did the hard yards, rotated the strike, just ensured that his team remained in the chase. He got to really construct the chase and show a lot of method into the madness, and Ravi Bopara did that. What made life easy for him was Zeb's innings of 38 and 16. That was belligerent. He just came and dismantled the bowling lineup of the Karnali Yaks.
Different type of innings this from safe side, in that Bopara was all control and method. This was all invention and some brutal strokes as well. It was the game was evenly poised when he walked to the wicket, and he just took the game away from the Yaks.
Yeah, and this meant that the Rhinos quite literally announced their arrival in season 2 of the NPL with a very, very commanding performance here. They did well to restrict the Yaks to 166 for 3 in 20 overs. Priyank, 90 of 48 was simply breathtaking. He put on a show with the bat. Almost got the first century very early in the tournament.
Yeah, but I think it's something that they will look at when they sent in Watt as well, and even Pawan. I know he's 27 out of 16, looks good on the scoreboard, but him and Watt were completely becalmed at one stage. Max O'Dowd struggled at the top of the order, so Priyank looked as though he was playing on a different surface. But I still think that the Yaks will be able to go away from this and say, you know what, lots of positives to take from this game, because we could have posted and should have posted 185, 190, and that would have been probably a winning total.
Absolutely. Great batting conditions here, as we saw on offer. And Priyank Panchal certainly lit up the stage as well on NPL debut. 6 towering 6 and 7 fours. He looked good all around the dial. And what was really impressive about his batting is the way he used his feet to the spinners.
Yeah, and he's got an impressive first-class career record in India as well. Averages mid-40s, over 8,000 runs, 20-odd first-class hundreds. So we're gonna see a lot from him over the course of this competition as well.
Yeah, just got to believe, if you're Karnali Yaks, that maybe a bit of tinkering with the batting lineup and the batting order, and you'd want to believe that you will find that combination. Early days, teams will try to fix things, sort things, experiment, but the idea is not to over-experiment as well, HD. And you need to find that winning combination and that 11 as well. All right then, we're all set for the post-match presentation. Andrew Leonard standing by. Take it away, Lenny.
Yeah, thank you guys, and good afternoon and good evening, and welcome to this post-match presentation for match number 2 of the Siddhartha Bank Nepal Premier League, powered by Enso. We've seen a really good game that swung both ways, but ended up with a victory for the Chitwan Rihnos by 4 wickets. The Siddhartha Bank Nepal Premier League and the Cricket Association of Nepal would like to thank all of the sponsors for making this second season possible. That title sponsor, Siddhartha Bank, powered by Encel, our co-sponsors Dafa News, Red Bull, Omado and JQ, and Bajaj Pulsar, and our official partners KFC, Pizza Hut, Presidential Graduate School, NCHL, InDrive, Expert Education, Medaya Air Conditioner, XTEP, Vivo, Agrakanchi Cement, Happy Dent, Weiwei, Asian Paints, and our medical partners, of course, who are keeping us safe here. That's Viadora and Nepal Medi City. What about our event partners, Lord of the Drinks, Ashok Leyland, Lay Power, HP Petroleum, our hospitality partners there at Salty, our ticketing partner, Calty, hydration partner, Golden Oak, and our broadcast partners bringing you these pictures, Star Sports, Canterbury Max, Dish Home Go, and Fancode. Thank you to all of you. Time to introduce you to my presentation party, starting with Mr. Manoj Gorkali, who's the Vice President of the Nepali Non-Residents Association, the international community there, over 8 million people altogether representing around the world, that Nepali diaspora. Next to him is Mr. Surendra Kumar Goel, who's the Chairman of Arvind Emporium Private. Nice to see you, sir. Mr. Sanjeev Naponi, who's the Cluster Manager of Telecombix Private Limited. Next to him is Mr. Avril Paudiel, who's the Senior Marketing Manager for Saras Beverages Private Limited. Then we've got Mr. Deepak Baral, who's the National Sales, Activation and Marketing Manager of Asian Paints. And finally, Mr. Manoj Bansali, who's a representative of Media Air Conditioner. Gents, you all look great. You're all very welcome. Let's get on with this presentation. Awards to give away. Starting with the Medea Cool Fan of the Match. This man, he's a super fan. Up you come. Banu back to Karaka. Up you come for the check to be presented. Up you come, superstar. Come on, big smile. You're going to get a check from Mr. Manoj Bansali for the cool fan of the day winner. That's your check back there. He's going to come and say hello to everyone. Namaste to you. We've seen some great colour in the crowd. And if I can ask you to go back and take your check. Take your check back there. And a big smile for the cameras, please. That's our first award winner. I think he wanted a bit of an interview, but we'll have to save that for social media later. Okay, time for the Asian Paints Ultimate Catch of the Match. They're going to win a check for 25,000 rupees presented by Mr. Deepak Baral. He might have come out on the losing side today, but it was an excellent grab down at long on. Give it up for Dev Canal. Hard luck on the batting today, Dev. Very unlucky to be run out at the non-strikers end, but he'll receive his check for 25,000 rupees from Deepak Baral. Congratulations. Okay, our third award is one of our favourites. It's the Red Bull Energetic Moment of the Match. And this one, I have to say, gave me goosebumps. Just his second ever ball in the Nepal Premier League. The young leg spinner didn't just take the wicket, but what about the celebration? He's going to receive a cheque for 25,000 rupees. It goes to Yuvraj Khatri. Congratulations, young Yuvraj. Looking forward to seeing your career evolve in the years to come. And you were unlucky, you nearly had a second wicket as well, dropped it long on. But a cheque for 25,000 rupees. Okay, time for the N-Cell maximum fours of the match. This is a cheque for 25,000 rupees. Award to be presented by Mr. Sanjeev Napani. He batted brilliantly. We very nearly saw the second century of the innings today. He made 90 off 48, second century in the history of the MPL, that is. He had 7 fours in total. It goes to Priyank Panchal. Up you come, Priyank. Very well batted, sir. Looking forward to seeing you throughout the tournament. 25,000 rupees to you too. Okay, our final award is not just going to be the cheque, but it's also going to be the trophy. It's the big award, the Siddhartha Bank Bankable Player of the Match. Cheque for 50,000 rupees now. Well, he's an all-round superstar. He's getting better and better with age, despite turning 40 this year. 1 for 18, 52 off 36. He helped get them almost over the winning line. The Player of the Match, it's Ravi Bopara. Congratulations, Ravi. First, you're going to receive your cheque from Mr. Surendra Kumar Goel. That's for 50,000 big ones, my man. You can enjoy spending that in the Kathmandu Valley over the weeks ahead. And secondly, if you just come in and get your trophy, I'll take your cheque for you, mate. Here comes your trophy. And that's going to be presented by Mr. Manoj Gurkali. Ravi, stay with me for a couple of minutes. Come in, get out of the sun if you want and have a chat. Great to see you, mate, firstly. And how happy are you to be back in Nepal?
Yeah, it's brilliant to be back. I remember leaving here last year and all the boys were really upset about the league ending. It's like the best time of the year for a lot of the boys. So it's come around quite quickly and everyone's in good spirits. And it's nice to get our first game underway and win.
What about the transformation of the stadium? How have they achieved this in a year? How good is it?
I mean, unbelievable work. I mean, they did say we're going to put lights up for next year, and I didn't believe it. I thought that's going to be a hell of an effort, but to manage it the way they have, and the ground looks beautiful, the stands. Now, I'm very proud of Nepal cricket.
I'll be honest, I didn't know whether it would be possible, but the job they've done, incredible. Today's game, you seem like you're in the best form of your life. You're really enjoying your cricket.
Yeah. Still loving playing. And I enjoy chases like that when you've got to pace them well and sort of have other guys bat around you. I thought the way Mala came in and played a brilliant cameo, and then the way Saif played, I thought was the innings of the match for me. The way he struck it cleanly, and he works hard and he deserves it. He deserves to come in and score runs the way he did.
Can I just ask you a final question about Saif, player of the tournament here last year, but he had an exceptional year for Northants, didn't he, the county championship? Yeah. 1,425 runs, many saying unlucky not to be in maybe the Ashes squad or at least the Lions squad. Would you agree he's been unlucky?
Yeah, I think he gets overlooked sometimes. For someone who's as good as him and puts the numbers on the board, he was one of the rising stars at Northants, training with the first team at 14. When you've got someone like that, you need to look at him and make them into a great player. So it's great to see him doing well. Even when he travels overseas, he works really hard on his game. The most I've seen for a young player, so very proud of him, very happy.
England's loss is Nepal's game. It's good to see you, buddy. Player of the match.
Yes,
congratulations. Okay, that's going to wrap up our post-match presentation. Stay with us. Match 2 is coming very soon.
Thank you, Andrew. What an outing here for the Rhinos. Match number 2 out of the way. We're all set for match number 3. Viratnagar Kings taking on the Pokhara Avengers. They finished in the bottom half of the points table last season, 6 and 7. They'll want to really redeem themselves and give a good account of themselves as well in match number 3. All of this coming to you live from the Tribhuvan University International Cricket Ground in a short while from now. We look forward to your company then. Do stay tuned because a lot more excitement and entertainment is lined up.
24 में नॉर्मल चल रहा है, होता ही नहीं है 30 किधर से कर से कुछ भी नहीं करेगा, जो है बराबर है। कल मेरा हमारा बात सुना था